Hello, welcome back everybody. Wow, it's very, very dark today, isn't it? It's very dark in this studio. Yeah, we should probably get that fixed sometime soon. Should I move the light over, or should I just sit in darkness? I think I'll just sit in darkness on the horrible webcam. Either way, I'm live. I'm back, baby. Let's cast some Counter-Strike. It's Trick versus Kinguin. That's our first game today, and it's on cobblestone. So I think we're loading in now. And I think we're going to get into this one. So should we watch some CS? I think we should. I know that we got everything going on the way. We have got CS coming at you, and that's exciting stuff. It's the EU portion. Welcome everybody. Have a seat, make yourself comfy. We've got some great CS, we've got some great cobblestone coming. Apparently, we've got some music on as well. Should we turn that off? I think we should. Either way, cobblestone's here, and people are starting to tune in. People are starting to come back. We've got Kinguin versus Team Trick. Sorry about earlier, guys. We had a couple of technical issues. Somebody robbed my mic, so we had to get a new one, and then it broke the audio software, and then the whole world just came crashing down, and we had some big problems. But that's about it for now. Should we log out of Steam as well? I think we should do that. I think we should make this as professional as we can. But looks like we might finally get into casting some Counter-Strike. It's Kinguin versus Tricked. We're here on this nice Sunday afternoon, and they should be getting into this one nice and shortly. So if you haven't been to ELC before, you don't know how it works, I'll teach you. Just type in the chat. We'll have a chat. We'll have a bit of banter. We'll have a bit of fun, and that's what it's all about. It's just about having fun, getting into it, and watching some CS. So who have we got here? We've got Brian. Hey Squid, how's my mic, man? Welcome again, Brian. I'm glad to have you back. Glad that we haven't got these absentees. Back again for another great stream. I am back again, and let's hope there's going to be a great stream. I'm waiting for a great stream. Hey, the uni, what does that say? I'm going to Google Translate that. Let's find out what you're talking about. I'm going to go that to English. Let's see. Can I go Russia to English? See if it works. Hello, my friend. Hey, my friend. Hey, the uni. How are you, man? So if you've got any questions, type them in the chat. We'll be going through the chat all day, and hopefully we'll be having some fun. It's Kinguin versus Tricked, so you might as well come along. And what happened in the first map? It was like a 16-7, right? We were sorting out all manner of technical issues, but Tricked ended up winning that one. That's actually, in my mind, a really worrying sign. I'm really worried for Kinguin at this point. They've had 5 maps at this point, I think, and I don't know if they've won any just yet. They're 0 for 2 in wins. They've lost 2 against not great opponents as well. They've still got the likes of Gambit and North to face after they've come back from Malmo. They've got what should be the higher end of the standings left to go. They've played against some of the easier members so far. And then when you look at people at the top of the table, Heroic are doing well, and Space Soldiers are doing really well as well, but there's been a lot of draws all round. It's a system that lends itself to the 1-1s, obviously, but I didn't actually think that this season would be that close. I thought it would be fairly close. I thought that we would see majority draws, maybe 50% draws, 50% ties perhaps, maybe slightly more ties and draws, but instead we've seen like 80% being ties, trading off maps against each other. Mike is perfect now. Thanks very much, Brian. Was perfect. There we go. Is Kinguin losing to Trick, guys? I didn't get to see the match. I didn't get to see the match either because we were setting everything up because somebody broke the setup. Somebody broke my PC, bro. Reader. But yeah, Tricked beat Kinguin on that first map 16-7. And it was Inferno, so a map that Kinguin shouldn't be terrible on. Like, after all, that was Trick's pick, so Kinguin, they've got Cobblestone coming up next. That's what we think. So Brian says, do you think Kinguin will at least have one map this time, Squid? Maybe, maybe not. Tricked are kind of hit and miss team as well, so it's like, I'm not really sure how much they're going to stand up in a whole best of 2. Because remember, like, if this was a best of 3, Kinguin would still be losing this one. It's like 2-0. That's it. Welcome everybody. Glad to see everybody coming back to the bright side. We're back with the stream. You're watching ELC Gaming TV. I'm Squid as well. If you haven't met me, I'm a pretty chill caster. It's a Sunday as well, so we'll do what would normally be the NA show because we're not covering the NA matches tonight. We've got to get some bed before WCA tomorrow. Tune into that as well. We've got WCA coming all week starting tomorrow. That got announced at the weekend. That's a huge tournament. Really excited for it. And a lot of these teams are going to be in WCA as well. So a lot of the higher end of this, and we'll be doing that for the next month and a half, 2 months, and dotting ECS out of it. I love ECS. I want to do as much of it as possible. So I've been really enjoying it so far. It's a nice chill feeling. It's like no obligation. I can sit back in my chair. I can relax. We can cast. We can try out some new stuff. And yeah, what's Brian saying? Brian says Kinguin seems to be missing everything this year. Oh, what a fall from grace. I totally agree, man. They were doing so well. They made the playoffs of a lot of the bigger online cups, like the Hell Cases and the Farm Skins, big betting sites. When they put $10,000, $25,000 in, it was normally Kinguin being able to show up at the top end of that. However, they've really been struggling, much like the Brothers Virtus Pro. It could be a pressure thing as well. Remember that the player who really shines from Kinguin is likely going to have a shot in Virtus Pro. In the next year, I'm sure we'll be seeing one of these Polish superstars move up in the ranks. John Matthew says, Kinguin, Game 2, can win. A badly worded question, of course, but yeah, sure they can win it. Cobblestone, one of their better maps. I think that you'd be silly to say otherwise. So I think that they do have a good shot of winning it if they just show up. If they can get that team play rolling, then I wouldn't be surprised if they manage to pull this one home. We're finally getting people in and watching the stream today, and loads of people messaging. So thanks for that. The Swaffenin says, honestly, people named Ryan are usually douchey, but I never met a mean Jimmy. Sure thing, man. That is, that's true. I got a pretty good friend from called Ryan, and I don't know anybody called Jimmy, so I don't know what you're talking about either. I don't know why that was brought up. There's nothing earlier in the chat. There's some friendly Russian guys as well. Really happy to have you. Welcome to ELC. And you're joining us for the day, I think it's day 5 altogether, of the ECS proceedings. So, welcome aboard, everyone. We should be getting into this one in just a few moments, though. And like, if you have to put this one on paper, this is one of the more interesting matchups, I would say, with Kinguin being really struggling recently, and Tricked being one of the lower teams in the development season. I would say that Kinguin definitely have a chance to concede both maps. I think any score is possible in this series. I think that this is actually like a fairly close one despite the previous scoreline. But Tricked, yeah, they were looking really strong in that previous game. If you've just joined us, fellas, you can go ahead, type in the chat. Squid, have you got and ask some questions, just like Brian just did. Squid, have you gotten to watch any of the DreamHack Malmo? Yeah, I watched Nips games, in fact. I don't normally get to watch many of Nips games. I watched some of their games at DreamHack Atlanta as well. Was it Atlanta? Yeah, I think it was Atlanta recently. And when they were playing against Red Reserve, and I thought that they looked really weak against that lower caliber team. When converted over to Malmo, I thought that they were going to struggle. I didn't even think they were going to get out of groups. I thought they were going to have a really hard time, and they managed to surprise me. almost taken that second map off G2 as well. That was such an exciting cache. Nip over the last, well, since probably January 2015, have always put up an exciting cache. It's always been one of them their more fun maps to watch. Anybody else watched any Malmo? What's everybody else thought? Come on, let's have a chat. I know this isn't NA. I know that this is the more serious broadcast, but we do have a little bit of time to fill. So if you want to fill it by chatting with me, go right ahead. But in the meantime, Trent looked pretty strong in that previous map. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. See who was the difference maker in that game. It seemed to be a team effort from Tricked somewhat, with nobody really lagging behind. However, Lucky with 21-13, and everybody putting up decent score. On the Kinguin side, they didn't seem to not have the fragging power. Mihu with 18 kills. Everybody else lurking and lingering around the 11-12 mark, apart from Hyper, who lagged behind a tiny little bit. I would say that that's kind of like that's one of the less worrying facts about Kinguin, is they've never dropped off in that way. They've always been able to frag, and they've always had that potential to really break out and do something more. Of course, they had a horrible pro league last season, getting I'm pretty sure they got relegated. I don't think that they're there anymore. But I know that they ended up, yeah, they definitely did get relegated. They didn't have any, I don't even know if they got any like real good wins there. They were right at the bottom of the table, substantially so as well. They barely picked up anything. Fragsters versus Space Soldiers on here. Yep, we'll be watching Fragsters versus Space Soldiers next, so stay tuned for that one as well. We'll be bringing you both the EU matches today, and we'll see what about. So, what's everybody thinking about that Fragsters game as well? Are we thinking of Space Soldiers 2-0? Those guys have been looking really great all season. They've been on fire. Brian says, how about flick from Draken, the clutch, to clutch the round on Overpass? I didn't watch Overpass. I watched Draken's play on Mirage, that 1 versus 3. I thought that was beautifully done. Draken, I feel like he has a little bit of an issue with pressure. He really does remind me of Michael though. Like his AWPing style is so Michael esque that I don't know if it's not just Michael in a suit. I think Draken might just be Michael in a face mask. I think somebody should go and do the whole what is it? It's not Austin Powers, is it? Where they where he's like pulling at the guy's face to try and get the mask off. I think it is. I know they do it in Scooby-Doo as well, but I think Austin Powers does it where he's like pulling at a guy's face thinking it's a mask. I think that's Austin Powers. If somebody knows what film I'm talking about, and if it's not Austin Powers, where he's like he thinks the guy's wearing a mask, and so he's like yanking at his face, but he's having like a really hard time with it, and it's pretty funny. They should do that to Drake, and I'm sure Michael will be under that. Fragsters just won a DK LAN, only 2-0s all the way. Yeah, pretty good people. They also went to DreamHack Tours, didn't they? Was it Paris? Well, yeah, well, and they made it out of groups there. They made it to the playoffs of Tours as well. Just 2 months ago, I think it was. I remember Big C dropped out of one of the tournaments I was supposed to be casting to go to Tours, and compete at that tournament, in which they performed really, really well. Apologies again, guys, if you were trying to tune into the previous match. We weren't here just due to a couple of sound issues, but it's all good now. We're here to have some fun, sit back and relax, because this one should be going live in a couple of minutes, and I'll stay here and have a chat to you as well, since we're since it's likely going to be probably going to be like 5 or so minutes. I can hear the chat going mad as well in game, so I don't know really what they're talking about, but I can tell that they might be talking about some sort of technical issue. I can have a check, but we can't show it on stream because we might expose the IP. So, guys, finally, we're starting to get viewers piling in. If you haven't watched ELC before, remember to log into the YouTube chat, have a talk with us, because we love the viewer interaction. I love having a talk to you guys, so log in, ask whatever question you want, no matter how rude or silly, and we'll get round to asking that one soon. And just to reiterate, Fragsters versus Space Soldiers, that will be the next game coming up as well. So we will show that one, and then that'll be it for the weekend. We've got to spend our Sunday night. We were supposed to have tea time in for that one, but he's not able to make it today. Hopefully he'll come and cast some other day. I'd love to get him on. I love his casting. So Fragsters got a chance, right? Yeah, they certainly have a chance. Hoozers. They just won Inferno. Pretty convincingly as well. Here on Cobblestone, though, I think they're going to have a more tough time. Four hours of sleep for Fragsters, and they still won that first game. If that's true, that's kind of whack. Last season, Kinguin won the first best of 2 against FaZe to open the season. See, that's what I mean. Kinguin's such a hit and miss team. They can sometimes really perform. I remember back when Virtus Pro were the powerhouse of the Polish scene. Team Kinguin could sometimes take them close in series. When they were playing at those Polish championships, Kinguin would sometimes even take a map off them or take several rounds off them. Dozen rounds off them even. So Kinguin, the sort of team who can show up at any time as well. If they catch you sleeping, they're going to stab you if you sleep. Who is it? Fragsters Danish champion of 2017. Shame that there probably weren't any good Danish teams there. Probably Astralis, well, yeah, Astralis not showing up, and Heroic, don't know if they were there. Maybe Heroic were there, but then you've got North as well. Don't think they'll be going to tournaments like that. That's one of the reasons why the Danish scene was so good in the past couple of years, is teams like Astralis used to go to the local lands, stomp it midly, but it kind of pumps up the younger talent. If you get to play against one of the best players in the world, one of the best teams in the world, of course you're going to be fired up. Of course you're going to want to improve, and it helps you get there. So hats off to Astralis, and maybe that's even promoted the scene somewhat. So right, everybody's dropped out. And I'm gonna go and turn the lights above me on, so when I turn the camera back on, it's not dark as hell. So be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Hey. Oh, still a little bit dark, still a little bit cold as well. We need to maybe fix that camera because we just reinstalled everything. I got the hat on. This is the NA hat, but obviously it's not NA. We're not going to be doing any NA today, but it is the NA hat. Let's see. So basically, Kinguin's 5th. Can we play with coach? He doesn't have internet. Rowland says if we need to play fast, if he can wait a bit. So one of their players changing the IP, and they're gonna wait 5 minutes. So yeah. So their 5th is reconnecting, and then they'll be back in the server in a little while. So it's 5 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to have an impromptu Q&A. We're always having a Q&A over here. It's a lot of fun. We like to keep it chill. We like to keep it relaxed. So if you're here for the game, make yourself a cup of tea. If the kettle's right there, make yourself a cup of tea. If the kettle's in the kitchen, don't bother. Just stay. Log into your YouTube account now and ask some questions. Although I saw a lot of questions flooding a minute ago, so we'll read a couple of them now, or maybe not. Let's have a look. So people are talking about Trick's slim chances in this series. I'm not quite sure if I agree. I think that their chances in this series, especially after winning map 1, is pretty hefty, pretty heavy. I wouldn't be surprised. Log into those YouTube accounts. Get asking some questions. Get the comments flowing. Let's get this chat flowing, boys. 9 Rush says, easy for Tricked, boys. Let's go. John Matthew Huffner says, how long till start? Should be about 5 minutes. Hopefully less than 5 minutes. We'll see. We'll see. Let's hope that we can get this one started as soon as possible. But obviously, we're just here casting it. We're not doing any of the admin work or anything. We're just waiting for this one to start. Here are some questions as well. Wait, why not on Twitch? ECS are sponsored by YouTube. They like us to all do it on YouTube, so we'll happily oblige. As a streamer, YouTube is actually fantastic. It might even be better. I enjoy using it. I've got my my hub here, which is maybe even better than the Twitch hub. We can get quality better, easier. It's actually really nice. So it's not a disadvantage. Not saying it's a disadvantage for the viewer. Not really sure how that works. How have Dignitas done lately? Dignitas aren't in the dev season, but Dignitas have been not doing too well, to say the least. Do I speak Russian? No, suka blyat. Suka rashbi. That's about as much Russian as I speak. Yo Squid, how come it's not on Twitch? Because ECS is the YouTube deal. That's what it's all about. So we're doing it on YouTube as well. We're pretty happy to oblige to that one. It's not that bad. But I'm a Twitch mod. You're a Twitch mod, Bouncy? I think I remember you. Are you you're a Twitch mod for ELC? You're gonna have a busy time because we've got WCA coming up in the next couple of days. 58 best of 3s we're gonna be covering for WCA, Farm Skins, and UCC. Really excited about it. We've got that starting tomorrow. That's tomorrow morning on our channel. Oh no, well, no, it's actually tomorrow evening. We've got like 2 best of 3s today normally, so make sure that you're tuning on that one. That will be on Twitch. Isaac live trying to sell us some shit. Where's the game? The game's coming up in a minute, young fellow. Keep your hat on, because we will have some CS:GO in just a few minutes. What else have we got? Nice Russian. What? Where am I from? Sorry. Sorry, my English is bad. No, your English is fine, man. I'm from England. I'm living in Germany now to cast some Counter-Strike. However, we haven't got any Counter-Strike going right now. Let's put you on time, mate, for trying to sell us your crap. Please leave. Hard play. Puts, dude, where the game? The game's coming in a minute. One of the Team Kinguin members is trying to sort out their internet. So as soon as hard play, man. Chill. We'll get into the game in just a minute. It's nice. It's nice. We've got 250 people here. Dinko put, glad you got it fixed, my man. Thanks very much, Dingo. Much appreciate that you took over as well. Hope to see you streaming another time. Are you an aspiring caster, Dinko? I haven't actually seen you cast. Like if you are, I don't know. Maybe you cast all the time, and I'm just making myself look like a mong. But I normally keep my eye out on HRTV and stuff for other casters and all that jazz. If you're interested, you should add me. You should add me on Skype or Steam or something. My Steam is /eating_a_squid, so if you haven't got me on Steam, you should add me and we'll have a little chat about casting and stuff. Oh, looks like they're resetting the map, so should be getting into this one soon. Maybe they changed the IP. How old am I? Says Wincy. I'm 18. I'm almost 19. 19 in October. That's coming thick and fat. I can't believe it's September already. Oh, looks like everybody's in. We're getting right into the knife round now. What was the issue with the mic, mate? Somebody literally took the microphone home and we feed all of our sound through a sound card, like an external sound card. The sound card broke when they unplugged the microphone, and we couldn't get it working, so all of the sound was coming out of the webcam, and then when we tried to put it back in, when we tried to put the Sennheiser back in and unplug the webcam, we had no sound at all. So it was just issue after issue. Hard play, but please, dude, it's all right, man. You can watch some CS now. 250 people also waiting for this one to get started. Effie says, who do you think is going to win, Space Soldiers or Fragsters? I've been very impressed by Space Soldiers. Look at Rallen though, he's watch go. There's two, but wow, my game crashed already, so fantastic. Oh, this is a mess. So we are getting back into the game. I'm just loading it back up now. Not much I could do about a game crash. Sorry, folks. This year has flown by. A Squid, yeah, this year has literally flown by. I've been over in Germany for 2 months now. Well, almost 2 months. It's felt like a hell of a lot. It felt like 2 weeks. But now we've been going for a little while now, and it's been a lot of fun. And already looking at casting off. So, Tricked, looked like they won that pistol round regardless, but that was a big double kill from Rallen, and nobody else really doing anything after that apart from me, who finds just the one. But let's hope no other issues now. Fingers crossed, touch wood, everything. Let's hope. Hard play. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's alright, hard play. Pro player Squid using the double mouse technique. Yeah, I use a mouse as a keyboard and then a keyboard as a mouse. That is where it's at. That's very next level. Listen, but I know English at the schoolboy, at the level of schoolboy. That's good. It's probably better than my Russian. Please, Russian vodka, please. Tell me your Russian vodka, please. That's what I did. Russian vodka. Either way. Team Kinguin, they fully invested in this one. Rallen's got the Mag 7 in hand, and everybody else have pistols. 4 sets of armor as well have Kinguin. So Tricked, this isn't a done deal just yet, especially so. Sparrow takes a bullet in the face. Here's the follow-up Molotov as well, but does nothing but Molotovs themselves out of the bomb site. It's Kinguin struggling early on, and if Tricked can just breach this bomb site time after time, yeah, put rounds on the board, refreshing. Rixo, both with one apiece. This Team Kinguin, it's going to be really difficult for the Poles to get back into this bomb site now, especially so as Mihu takes one in the brain. It's Rixo getting so much money, farming the cash with this Mac 10. Team Kinguin can do nothing about it. Just Lord and Rallen left. Mr. Coach himself, as Rallen decides to back off and try and save this Mag 7. The shotgun could be a massive threat, especially on cobblestone. So many short range engagements in drop zone. Over towards a platform as well. You can use a shotgun, get up close and personal, but Lord's going to drop, but Rallen, he's right round this corner. Maybe Trick won't even push into him, waiting for him to get aggressive and make the mistake, but it's not going to happen. Trick put their second on the board, and that was a pretty clean round as well. Only losing one player means that they're going to be able to build that economy. They're going to have a nice buffer working into this 4th round unless Kinguin do some damage with this pistol. Now, these pistols and the shotgun as well. They're going to have to put something on the board, otherwise Tricked will run away with the early portion of this half. They're going for a nice little cheeky boost, but Tricked, they're already into the B site. There's no messing around, no playing games with them. They're going to be able to get this bomb down pretty damn soon as well. And Team Kinguin completely locked out. Likely going to set up for a couple of exits, but it's all down to Trick to hold them out of this bomb site. They've got UMPs and everything in hand. And due to this risk that didn't pay off from Team Kinguin, they're likely going to do no damage in this round. I don't think Tricked are going to concede many, if any, kills this time. Insta did spot him out, but no communication there, as it's just the Julie's drop. Nothing else from Tricked, as they're probably going to deal the pain now. Hopefully with the SMGs, if they're going to really farm some money, but good damage from Kinguin, in fact, as Trick get perhaps over-aggressive, give away a lot of these weapons, and only really keep the AK and MAC-10 into this 4th round. But are they really going to keep this MAC-10 on what they know is going to be a gun round? Yeah, Refresher's going to have it. Maybe they'll put him fast into drop. I'm interested to see this. This is possibly the only place on Cobblestone where it can be utilized effectively, and being smoked out as well means they're going to hold him at long range, and this MAC-10 is almost deemed useless. Here comes the push though. It's Tricked. They've put 3 rounds on the board and looking for their 4th now. Maze is watching this angle, but as Tricked approach this site slowly but surely, that MAC-10 is going to get a kill. So Tricked, they need to post some defense, and a 4 versus 3 as well. They've got the man disadvantage. Have got rifles in hand, but Refreshers binned off that MAC-10, picked up a M4 in return, a much better rifle, as opposed to the short-range SMG, which did the damage. Lucky, that was a nice headshot. Mouse takes it in the face before being able to rattle off any kills. And it's Tricked straight into this bomb site. It's all up to Sparrow to try and do something, but he's caught from behind. It's Console to lock down this B site. Leaves Mihu all alone for one lonely pole. Abby says Kinguin trash team. That is not very nice. Listen says, tell me please, Russian is very good people. I actually agree with that. I've got some friends who are Russian. We work with a lot of Russians as well. They're all like super nice. It's like sometimes we have like language barriers and stuff that possibly causes some confusion. But all of the Russian like tournament organizers that I've come into contact with are literally probably nicer than the non-Russian ones. It's like one of the nicer countries to just like have a bit of a joke with and have a bit of a meme. They love the memes as well. What's your favorite weapon excluding the M4, AK, and AWP? I used to really like the 5.7 before they threw the nerf in, but now it's nerfed. It kind of seems well, it's clearly a lot weaker. So I can tell a noticeable difference between the amount of kills I used to get with the 5.7 and the amount of kills I got with it now, and I think it really weakened my game quite a lot. And possibly weaken Kinguin's game in this round as well, as they're posted up with 5 pistols. Tricked. Spot that one man, and because they see him aggressive, they decide to back off, deciding that they think that there's more than one member there, that the poles are assuming crossfires left, right, and center, and instead they might even circumnavigate this and go straight into B. But no, Insta, he's still hightailing it round to long, but they've got a lot of angles to check. Next time they push, they're not. Insta's going to push right past it, but finds 2 anyway. Turns straight around. There's the Molotov as well, and Kinguin, they get blasted. And to Lord, who salvages an AK-47, but he's got no armor to be able to successfully utilize this one with. He's got his back turned to long as well, so Lucky, he's posting his way past these 2 players. There's Lord gone, and he knows that there's another man here as well. Sparrow's going to walk right into the gunfire. 2 headshots for him. A nice triple kill. It's Tricked. They just haven't conceded anything yet. One of the problems for Kinguin in the last couple of weeks I've really noticed is the CT sides. The CT sides have been so weak. Yeah, they can post good numbers on their T side. Soon to be seeing what they can do when we switch half. But if you can't put together 5 or 6 rounds in a row, if you can't really build something on your CT side, you don't even have to do it on a row. You just need to put together 7 or 8 rounds on your CT side and every single map, and then that gives you something to work with. Instead, something we commonly see from Team Kinguin when they get desperate, the double AWP setup. It's whipped out. Sparrow finds one with it as well. Able to back off, but his position's totally compromised. Lord with a pistol out, doesn't manage to get that M4 out in time. Instead, it's managed to pick up the pieces and shut down ramp. Insta and Rixo need to continue to break in, continue the assault and onslaught onto the B site, but so far they've only found 1 kill, and that's on Lord. Almost another one for Insta, but instead it's just Rixo, and he has got a WP in hand. He needs to break back onto this bomb site, but Team Kinguin, they've got 3 men. An ironclad defense posted up, and Rixo gets blasted into the sky. Flew so high there. Half-full puts poor ECS scene of toilet cleaners. That is very rude, man. That is not a very nice thing to say at all. Hardplay says, I want such teammates in competition. Why do you play matchmaking and stuff? You want people who can play on this? Don't often see it, man. Why only Mihu plays like a pro? Mihu is probably the best player in Kinguin in the last possibly 2 years, I would say. He's really established himself as like a solid 6th player in the Polish scene under the 5 from Virtus Pro. I'd say like any time like Bialy or whoever takes a tournament off due to illness or whatever, it's normally Mihu stepping in. Furlan has a couple of times as well. Depends how they're feeling. This is a quick pause though, and it was called by Tricked, but it's been extended to a technical one. As, should we see it? Have they got any ping issues or anything? Nah, so no ping issues. Maybe they've got loss issues. I can hear them typing furiously in the chat as well. Happy put how they lost 3 pistols in a row. The thing is with Kinguin is they were winning a lot of pistols last series, the series before as well in ECS. I'm only talking ECS right now. They won, I think, all 4 pistols that they played so far. They managed to lose all 4 of the follow-up rounds though. They were killed back again with pistols. Disappointing to say the least. Tricked. Oh, they're changing up the pace. Might try to catch Team Kinguin off here, and Sparrow certainly does. It's refreshed to find that first pick, and Tricked even put this explosive down. Team Kinguin, they've been locked firmly out of the site. They're not even going to go for it. 20 seconds into the round, and it's all over. Alarm bells must be ringing for Kinguin now as they're deciding to go for this save super early. If you've got any questions, guys, make sure to type them in the chat. We're here all day just to give you some entertainment and to keep this one chill. We like a nice chill stream on a Sunday at least. I like to have a bit of a relax on a Sunday. Put my feet up maybe, but yeah, should we delete this complexity video with all the technical issues and stuff? I think we should. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. So Team Kinguin taking lots of casualties thick and fast, but the only respite is keeping these 4 rifles in. It's 1 AWP, 4 M4s, and that nade is going to do a tremendous amount of damage as Rixo charges out with just a pistol in hand. Rallan's the first to drop. And Kinguin, they're not able to stop Tricked at all. This momentum is just so thick and fast. Refresh takes another one. Nice headshot as they are charging and locking Sparrow in. That nice double kill. Console controls the spray perfectly. And it's just Lord left, the coach, and he has to outthink these 2 members of Trick, the 2 Danes. Oh, they've spotted him out as well. Spotting the crosshair. Tricked. They're posting number after number on the board. Team Kinguin not able to do anything. They've been... Yeah, this has been horrible from them so far, and maybe keeping the trend of what we've been seeing the last couple of days. It's been a real shambles. Here we go, lads. Remember, any questions, just type them in the chat. We'll be answering questions all day. A nice chill Sunday stream, but Tricked are not taking this one chill at all. They just annihilated the poles on Inferno. And yet again, they're looking to do more damage, this time on Cobblestone. Maybe Inferno, you'd say that they were expected to post a good scoreline, but here on Cobblestone, this is Kinguin's pick. They're not expected to do very well against Kinguin on Cobblestone, one of Kinguin's better maps, or what should be. However, they're taking gambles all the time, and it doesn't seem to be paying off. This time it won't either, because they've got no members on this B site. Mags has to rotate his way in thick and fast, is Tricked. They're on the assault already. They've got nothing to contest them as well, as these smokes are going to lock the poles out. Here they come, Tricked. It's an open, a free bomb site. No change given either, as they're going to definitely put their 8th round on the board. There are the re-smokes. Kinguin with no chance of taking this. And Trick don't even have to push this now. They've got 5 rifles alive, and like to risk this up against pistols, it's not worth the 300 kill bonus. It's just not worth it. Team Kinguin are going to have to invest into rifles anyway. This is not a force buy round. Needless to say, Trick don't know this, so they could feed them with one AK-47, but anything more than that is unforgivable. This bomb explodes. That's an 8th post on the board, and Tricks are already halfway to victory. And it feels like we've barely started. Remember, guys, Space Soldiers, that's the next game up today, so stay tuned for that one as well. We'll be bringing you the CS action from ECS all day, the EU. Obviously, we've got to get to bed because everyone's got work in the morning. We can't be up until 5 AM today, although I'd love to. Nobody's here to join me, which is a shame. We'll give some other casters another chance as well. Of course, there are loads of other casters doing ECS. Not as many as usual, I think. I think that the pool's a little smaller. However, maybe that's just because of the whole YouTube thing. I know some casters are unhappy with that. I don't necessarily agree. I think YouTube's great. I know people around the office as well. Like, yeah, we should do more stuff on YouTube. This is awesome. And I think I agree with them. Tricked as well. They're able to take so much map control for free. Able to get the way into drop zone without Kinguin even contesting them. And you see they're about to throw the smokes straight into the B side. I think Insta's going to throw his nades straight over. But as you can see, Lord's about to peek right into that crosshair. Refresh, using that pillar as distraction and cover. Lord didn't know what hit him. Straight through the post. Didn't even need the headshot. Didn't even need to peek out. Just ricochet bullets right on through. Here are the nades from Tricked, and it's a weakened Kinguin defense with only 4 players left. Coach down, and the orbs are missing. His console, he's doing all the damage. Runs out of bullets just at the wrong time. Lets Mihu take 2, but Rallen's got an AWP, and there's no way that he's going to be able to do this one. Tricked have an AWP of their own. Rifles as well, posted at short range. He's going to have to crack open this bomb site in the next couple of seconds, and instead he's just saving. There's no way that Kinguin are favoured in any of these situations. They've been losing players thick and fast, and maybe a misplay from Lord as well. Not really getting as aggressive as he possibly should have. He's been caught out 2 or 3 times now in drop zone. The timing just not being optimal. There's the bomb once again. Trick just performing so admirably. This might be another Kinguin crush. They got absolutely decimated on Cobblestone the other day. Space Soldiers, what was it, 16-2? And yet again, this might be Trick doing the same sort of thing in the same fashion. Trick sending 2 players and the bomb towards B. They might have to hightail it out of there, as if Kinguin gets a little bit aggressive. They often do in these situations. They could find something. Kinguin like to go for these aggressive plays when they're down on rounds. We saw it on Inferno. We see it on Cobblestone a lot as well, where they'll push all out into Courtyard. They'll make an aggressive push over to B, aided by 1 or 2 smokes. It really gets these pistols or gets these SMGs normally is when they do it right up in your face, but they're not doing it just yet. They've not changed anything about at all. And Kinguin, they've just been read like a book. This Trick make their way in. It looks like this is going to be an A-take with the bomb rotating back around again. And this is the correct decision. Only 2 players over here. They're both pistols as well. Not even an armored opponent. Is Sparrow. He's going to be a weak link on this A site. Finally, Rallen's AWP rotates around. But Tricked. They might be about to walk into this one. They'll have to smoke him off and close the distance quickly. And he takes that opening shot out as well. Crucial one to hit. Is lucky he moves back in, but Rallen has bought himself space for the triple kill. Needs some more here, and as he does get it, all on the back of Rallen, as Kinguin gets fed that second round. They just piled into that scoped rifle, not mollying him off, not smoking him out. Instead it was just Trick going up, not even really realizing he was there, the communication being poor. And Kinguin, another pattern that you find with their CT defense is they usually start off really poor and start feeling out their opponents. So when they get to the business end of the first half, they usually post a couple of rounds. But oh, look at Sparrow doing everything from short range. These AWPs galore, and Trick just get minced up. Sparrow's the only casualty, but they're going to keep that AWP. So 2 good rounds from Kinguin here. And this is what I was saying. They often, like a championship boxer, feels like their opponent in the first couple of rounds, and then adapts their play style later on. Normally adapting with the double AWP setup or getting aggressive, and that's how they post 5 or 6 on the board at the end. But the sad situation is 5 or 6 normally isn't enough. Normally they get into these matches too little too late. But their adaptions are normally strong. As you can see, they've moved members into drop zone, realizing this is the weak link. Trick can circumnavigate this if they hightail their way around. Change up their angle of approach. Instead, it's a couple of mollies in. There's a return molly, but Kinguin backing straight out of drop gives it away to Tricked. And this is the precious map control taken as Insta breaks open along towards the A site. Lord and Mihu might be able to do something about this, but Insta, he's the next man in. And there's a nice headshot as well. Only Lord stands between Tricked and the A site as Refresh finds one over towards B. This is Kinguin just falling to pieces right now. Only the AWP picking up kills. We'll just find one as well, but he's going back to the B site, and this is the wrong decision once again. Trick successfully reading this for what seems like the 5th round on the trot. This bomb's going to go down as well with little time to spare. Kinguin over towards the other side of the map. Can't do anything about this. Just saving the M4 and AWP is the name of the game. This Trick, they've just not let up on the pressure. It would have been really easy to just give away 6 rounds at this point, Team Kinguin. They started getting momentum rolling back in their favour, picking up kill after kill. They seem to be hitting their shots and having crossfires established, especially on that B site. You saw the AWP and then the M4 peaking aggressive to buy the AWP some space, and Sparrow seemed to be able to pick them apart. However, in this 13th round, Trick found a way around it. They broke back into drop zone as well. With no Lord here, he's rotated all the way over towards the A site. Instead, it was Mouse, and he had to back off, aided by those Molotovs. Tried to throw up a Molotov of his own, but Trick just ran straight on through it. Meant the Trick took so much map control early on, the Kinguin just couldn't stop them. And yet again, looks like this could be a heavy A push this time, knowing that the economy is going to be slightly weaker, perhaps going for a quicker setup, but they have misread this situation and pile straight into Rallon once again. There's a preliminary nade as well, as he does pick up his first shot. Tricked. They need to up the pace and lock out this AWP, because Team Kinguin, they've rotated 4 members over to towards this A site. It's going to be so difficult to try and break open this defense here as Mihu trades out. They know that this orb's over towards this angle as well as the smokes. TRC, they need to break into this site, and they are doing it. Lord, he's the next to fall. Rallon has this AWP still posted on the A site, and he just spots out a shoulder, but Trick to picking up kills left, right, and center, and Rallon just gets sprayed through the wood. Kinguin couldn't get anything going, even with 4 members on this site, unable to pick up the kills. Trick just seemed to have their number right now and be the superior team. A smoke thrown out, but Rallon, it lets him get up close and personal. But Trick, they're not going to make those sort of mistakes. They're not just going to push right into your CZ. Instead, they're playing a nice reserved, passive style of CS. And they're picking their punches right now. Not going for anything that they think's going to be too risky. Instead, spotting out the weaknesses and hitting Kinguin right where it hurts. Poles only on 3 rounds. This is a brutalizing performance from the Danish side, and a side who haven't really looked necessarily super strong. It's Kinguin who have instead looked pretty weak. Remember, Trick have only played 1 series so far, and it's been a tie. It's Kinguin with the 2 losses. And this could be a 3rd loss on the board as well if they're not careful, if they don't start and wake up now. And this is likely going to be a 12-3 first half. Absolutely decimating. As the question would be, at that point, what can Kinguin do on their T side? The question is probably not that much. Lord picks right into the crosshair of Refresh as he blasts his skull open. It's this B site just looks so open in Kinguin. Seems so weak. They don't have any crossfires established, and Refresh is able to pick them apart one by one. 4 more on the board for him. As a team effort, puts 12 rounds on the board for Trick. Kinguin just got nothing rolling. Lord being a weak link as well. Unfortunate for Team Kinguin, but this isn't just one player underperforming. This is a systemic issue. Big systemic issues for Team Kinguin. The inability to peak. Feeling slow and nervous. Maybe tilted even. And Tricked played such a solid game of CS that they were able to take advantage of all those little blemishes and mistakes on the Kinguin side. And as soon as you see those errors, those faults, it's easy to punish. If you've got a structured team like Tricked, and Fresh trying to take the shots through, and he finally lands it, but Kinguin, they're straight onto the A site. They've got the bomb here as well, but they're caught in the crossfire. Tricked, they are blasting back, but Mihu does find one more. USP in hand, does knock another one down, as he's the only member doing damage right now. Tricked have to neutralize him, and he is playing so out in the open, so aggressive, but he's got players triangulating all the way around him. He's going to have to fight his way out. And instead, it's a nice crossfire for Kinguin. is Lord. He's getting aggressive. He's trying to divert the attention through, and he does, but takes a bullet right in the head for it. Trick to straight onto this bomb site. They know where Maze is. They're taking shots thick and fast, and Insta's going to be able to pick up this defuse as well. He's got the kit in hand. Easy peasy for Trick. Does that just look like their bread and butter breaking back onto that site? It was a 3v3. It should be a difficult situation against the Glocks, but Kinguin again showing an inability to trade means it Tricked. They just picked up the frags. This MP9 as well is so BM, knowing that Tricked. They're not going to be facing unarmored opponents in this one. There's no chance that Kinguin saves this time. Instead, it's all the pistols. It's Kinguin deciding that they can't give up any more rounds, and unfortunately I have to agree with them. They cannot give anything else away. It can only be flawless, and that's a beautiful shot from Lord, but they're going to have to hit a hell load more than that if they're going to change the tides of this game. I can't see that happening. Trick, they've got an okay defense here. They've got 2 rifles here, and it's Console. He's going to start off the fragment, but he's all out in the open, and he's getting chipped away at by these Deagles. But he assumes the crossfire with the pistols, and Maze, he's the first man to drop as well. Team Kinguin, they need to get onto their site right now as the AK and Deagle rain on through, leaving Just Lucky alone. This bomb is going to go down. It's Sparrow. He's got right out of this bomb site. 2 rifles for Kinguin. This should be an easy round to pick up, but Lucky, he does find his first. He's still got 1 to find. He's so damn low that Sparrow, he only has to land 1 bullet, and that bullet's going to be, it's going to find its target. 4 to 13 though. There's Kinguin. That's just one of many that they're going to have to put on the board to be able to come back in this series. Remember, they're 0 to 1 down as well, so their confidence can't all be there. They certainly don't look like a confident team. Tricked with a big hefty buy this time. Insta not keeping a lot of money back either, is deciding to sacrifice the armor for a couple of nades, deciding that on Cobble you definitely need it. And Console, he's going to open up onto Rallen. That's 1 down as well in this CZ. It might be able to do all the work. Lucky up close, but can't find it. It's Refresh and Rixo instead who break open Kinguin. And that just seems so weak, so lackluster from the Polish side. What should be a drilled push seems so loose. Missing nades everywhere. Meant that Trick could find so many gaps. Those pistols were able to get right up in the Polish players' faces. And this might be all said and done. Trick, they've been rolling over the Polish side from start to finish. 16-7 on Inferno, and they might be able to rack together an even more dominating scoreline here on Kinguin's map pick, Cobblestone. Map they should be so confident on. Sparrow finds this opening pick, showing that they're got skill to work with, but they've just been outclassed today by the Danes. Here comes the MP9 though, and they've got a dispatch of Console. They do so, it's Maze, but they're losing poles thick and fast to Tricked. As the CTs do spread out, it's Insta getting really aggressive. Sparrow could get caught out here. This is so close. Neither of them know it, but nah, Insta's found the flank. Here comes the SMG. Just rains him down. Sprays bullets straight into his back. Sparrow didn't know where to look. Just Maze left. He might catch out 1, but nah, he peeks right out into it. He's extended very wide out. That flash as well means he has to back off, but with 40 HP, what can he really be expected to do? Only 30 seconds left, bomb in hand. But tricked. They know exactly where he is. He's about to just walk right to this AK-47. Refresh puts match point on the board. This is Trick looking like an absolute bloodbath right now. And despite all the delays, they're putting us back on time. If you're here for the Space Soldiers best of 2, it's coming right up next. Kinguin deciding that they don't want to play after 6 o'clock, obviously. Here comes Refresh, he's got an M4 in hand, and he's got assistance as well. Drops that bomb, and Team Kinguin can do nothing about it. There's a smoke up, and I think they might even push through that smoke as Refresh. He's got his back turned, but turns around just in time. Pistols out. He's just going to annihilate Ranlin, who has to back off. 6 HP. Nothing he can do. This has just been dominating from start to finish, and 16-4. That's a scoreline. What can you... A one-sided series, and Kinguin, they were pretty much at the top of the pile, I would say. Like coming into this development season, Kinguin was one of the spoiler teams, one of the teams. Oh, can they sneak into top 2 after Gambit and North? Can they cause a couple of upsets lower down the chain? And will Gambit and I'm gonna put the hat on since I'm on camera. It's the NA hat, even though we're not in NA times, but it is the NA hat. This is the NA hat. But as I was saying, maybe Gambit and North get a little bit complacent. Perhaps they drop a couple of maps against lesser teams in Kinguin, who this is a really big league for them. Playing serious in every single series can really push forth and get themselves to the top of the scoreboard. But they've been the massive disappointment of the whole tournament so far, bar none. Nobody else is sucked like Kinguin sucked. They've been just horrible from start to finish. However, coming up next, we've got 2 teams who really haven't been sucking. Fragsters, they've got 1 tie on the board. They did really well in that first series. I think that was against Kinguin as well. It might have been against Trick, though. It was against one of the better teams. And Space Soldiers, they've been rolling over everybody, especially in the openings of those games. So we'll have a bit of prelude. We'll have a quick break. But don't go anywhere, because we will be back for Space Soldiers. They'll be up against Fragsters in about a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Why am I lonely? Why am I lonely when you're here, right there beside me, touching and holding, but I don't feel anything that's real inside myself, baby. Death is at the door, push and shove, come on with me, something, what are we here for? Ooh, can't save us, ooh, can't save us, ooh, looks like this heart of ours before it's gone apart, can't save us.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. You're watching day, what is it, day 4 or 5 of ECS, and it's been a lot of fun so far. We actually have had a bag of laughs. However, we have got some serious business here today. It's a best of 2 versus Space Soldiers and Fragsters. Both have looked good. Well, Fragsters have looked good at least. Space Soldiers have looked great. They've looked phenomenal all ECS long so far. If they can keep up that pressure, if they can keep it going, that's soon to be seen. However, Fragsters have just won that knife round, so it should be pretty good, right? It should be good. I expect that they're going to swap here, but I don't think that that's going to be any respite from this Space Soldier side. They've been so strong on the T sides, left, right, and centre, being able to post phenomenal numbers. However, this time it is Fragsters on this CT side. I don't think Overpass is going to be that good a map for this for Fragsters, to be honest. I think Space Soldiers have really shown us heavy proficiency in it so far. However, oh, wait a minute. Sorry, my volume just all goofed out there. We're trying to just get the overlays and stuff fixed out. But if you haven't been here at ECS before or our ELC stream, go ahead, type in the chat. We'll be talking to you guys all day. It's like Space Soldiers is going to start it off strong though with a hat trick of frags as Paz as well. Fragsters even hid away on this B site, all 5 players here, and weren't able to do anything. So Space Soldiers, is this like the beginning of the end already? Like Fragsters, hello? That was a 5-man stack, and Space Soldiers just ripped into it and just walked straight through them. That was just a nuts pistol round, like hitting every single shot. And that might be the pattern throughout this game, because we've seen Xantres pretty much top frag almost every single map of this ECS season. They've been crazy, but Staff, what was that? That was a nut shot. Trying to trade it back, trying to do the damage into connector, but Fragsters aren't going to allow it. Only one, keep the man advantage on their side. So Space Soldiers, they might have to work for their lead. Something that they haven't actually done too much of, especially in the early portions of a lot of these games. They've been able to roll over teams, good teams as well, teams that should be tier 2. Space Soldiers have just dwarfed them. Teams like Kinguin. This is why people are so excited for Space Soldiers to attend tier 1 tournaments, because they legitimately can stand a chance. ECS might be no different. This might be one of the first big online tournaments that they really show us their form, flex their muscles, so to speak. They've got 3 AK-47s, but there's bombs all alone, and they are running distraction over towards the A site. And Froz right around this corner should be able to find Xantres. I don't think that there's any way that the Turbo Star is going to be able to find this shot, and he doesn't. The shadow gives his position away, and CZ peeks out, takes his head off. Paz is the only man over towards A here, and he's got so many different positions to watch. This bomb is rotating over towards the B side. Paz, yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place. It means it Major's all alone. A chance here, though, as he has got a couple of nades, and that bomb is planted with Fragsters a long way away. As he closes into CT spawn, he is closing the distance with his AK-47. A good chance here, but Fragsters, they picked up a lot of rifles of their own. Torben doesn't even let Major get the fragging started as they get this bomb defused. Fragsters versus Space Soldiers. Fragsters looking strong early. A lot of the times, Space Soldiers in both of the initial maps that they've played have been at 7-8-0 starts, and it's been closing it out, which has been the issue. This time, Fragsters posting a round early. Should we try and get the HUD working? I don't know if this is going to work or not. Hopefully. Fragsters against Space Soldiers. Hopefully this works. I hope so. Don't think so. I put my money on it not working. Yeah, it hasn't worked. That's a shame, lads. That's a shame, ladies and gents. Space Soldiers, though, they are doing the damage in this round. Alex has found himself an AK-47. He is doing work with it. There's Major as well. Pick Sickering through the smoke. What's happening, Fragsters? Not like this. They've got two players over towards the A site, and they are trying to extend back over. That nade as well isn't really going to connect on through. Staffy's got an AK-47 of his own. That flash over towards B is the kind of fake. And what a second headshot, Froz! How did he reconnect onto that second player? That was absolutely nuts. Looked shaky for a second, but he gains his balance and knocks the second man's head off. That's Space Soldiers being rattled in these first few rounds, but it's AKs again for the Turkish side, and they're known for it. They're known for this 5-rifle setup, being able to burst onto either of these bomb sites so decisively. Fragsters, they've really got to put the pressure up if they don't want the Turkish side to just roll all over them. And those initial nades weakening the blow is a good way to do it. As Calyx takes one in the face, down to 67. It's going to shake up your confidence as well if you've not got full HP pushing onto a bomb site. Could be the difference maker between winning and losing rounds. At least doing damage. Fragsters close down long. Space Soldiers now in a deficit once again. As the Danes have got off to a hot start. I don't know if they're even going to check the stab here. As he just holds down the line. Looks for the second man as well, but he's not there. They're rotating over towards the A site. And they are awfully close and haven't quite been spotted out yet. I don't know if Sickroom spotted a leg. I think he did. Caught it to Dragon as well, who takes the peek behind it. Only pass left, who drops soon to say as well. So Fragsters looking strong early on. Means that Space Soldiers are going to have to go for their first proper save of the game in round 5. They like getting this early lead, but now they haven't got it. How are they going to deal with this? They're used to racking up round after round on the T side as well. You'd expect them to maybe get 8 or 9, possibly even double digits. The T side here, but Fragsters are just denying the Turks right now. Who with these pistols are still dangerous. A little bit of the sting taken out of their tails, but these P50s can do damage, and Xandra showing us why. Dragon takes one in the face early on. Needs to back off as Sikrone takes one back. Hits back harder. Space Soldiers maybe even trying to get that AWP, but Torben playing games there. Space Soldiers not able to capitalize. As a tease favoring the A site right now. With Stav pushed up really aggressive, Fragsters can afford to go for this rotate. Instead, they've got plenty of rifles on this side. Torben messy, but he has got Froz there to support. Every member from the Danes chipping in. 1, 2, and 3. Just Major left. And he is on long. Means that Fragsters don't have to get too aggressive. They don't have to play into his hands whatsoever. He has got a P250. 1 or 2 shots can end any member of these Danes right now. And Froz almost got caught out there, so they have got gaps in their defense that have been exploited, but Major not taking advantage of that one. Means that Fragsters are going to survive 4 rounds on the board and 4 people surviving. Means they're going to be able to gain a nice buffer in their economy. And there's 5, 6,000, even as high as 7 on Stav, who's also fully bought. Fragsters with this money can be dangerous if Space Soldiers don't start putting some rounds on the board now. It looks like they might go straight into B to do it. The Danes, they've got a weak defense over here. It's only Dragon here with an AWP. One smoke can lock him out of the round. That's a nice jump up. Major not really spotting that one going. Unconventional from Fragsters, who don't go for the boost. Instead, just jump up, get a bit of information and take a spray battle through the metal. But Space Soldiers, they've sped up behind this. Dragon throws out a Molotov, a nade, everything he can get his hands on, but that's that one smoke to lock him out. And Space Soldiers, with nades alone, have salvaged this B site. They're going to be able to get the bomb down any second now. It's Engine to Planning with a 5v5. Fragsters, oh, they've almost been locked out of this site already. Frost takes one back, but Space Soldiers, they're doing the damage. It's Engine to trade one right on back. And Fragsters, I think they've got a save here. There's nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. Space Soldiers taking control, and this might be a couple of the jitters. They're playing a team who's been rolling so well, and obviously nothing's going to be getting into the back of Space Soldiers' head just yet. They're only 4-2 down at this point. It means they've got a lot of time to work with, and they're already grinding down this Fragsters economy. Danes are only going to be able to afford one buy here before they're forced to eco, surely. Saving a couple of rifles mean that they still have a little bit of money, but you can see that they'll actually be able to buy in the next one as well with 4 players with rifles if Space Soldiers take this one, but albeit it will be a weak buy. There won't be nades. Might even be 1 or 2 UMPs. I like these initial mollies from Fragsters, so they know that Space Soldiers want to be playing these fast executes, so throwing the molly into water early slows them down. Maybe even forces them to reconsider their options. And just gives Fragsters a couple more moments to set up a default. They've got a lot of players over towards A and getting aggressive as well. I don't know if they've heard steps, but Space Soldiers, it's well known that they love taking long control, and that's what they've done this round. So maybe that warp has it in the back of their minds. Fragsters would have likely studied overpass demos, knowing that they're coming to this map pretty early on. So, does hold down for 2. As Fragsters, this could be a big round. Dragon as well with a pair means Fragsters are going to regain control. Space Soldiers here, they don't have much money, but I've got a feeling that they're probably going to buy with rifles here. I think they'll go for 3 rifles and 2 pistols. You see, Paz, Sanchez as well, Calyx. They go for this all the time. These fire-ups early on. And Fragsters, they've got such a perfect buy to dispatch of this Space Soldiers half buy, this force here. Xantra's the star, the Turkish star, probably the best in his country and region. Better Eastern players opens up the B site. That's it, Chrome takes him in the face early on. Xantras is such a beast, and you've got to be wary of him. As soon as he starts opening up, I don't think Fragsters have players who can match his skill level already. He's made his mark on ECS development. Sees it, and that's another shot. Only spotting a couple of pixels, but that's all it takes for him to annihilate Froz. 2 weapons left, and Fragsters, they're going to have to back off of this one. They've not got tons of money to throw away into these retakes. Saving these 2 rifles are just about going to be able to scrape themselves a buy with 5 players alive. This is going to be 5 rifles, likely, in the next one. But if they lose either of them, the weaknesses are going to start to show. And, oh, what a double spray down! Beautiful from Xantres as he absolutely rinses the last two Fragsters members. They go down. It's just 1 and 2 to match the 3 and 4 over towards long. Xantres putting the Turks on his back right now. That was an absolute lightning fast double kill. This guy's such a monster. And that one completely broke Fragsters. You see, they're a bit light on utility. They've got to put it to the fragging now as Dragon and Staff both chip in. Space Soldiers, though, they are doing damage, but it's only HP. No kills so far. There's a return nade, and Alex has to back off. Fragsters, they've got good control. Right, Overbay just slips. I think they would have heard this as well, but, oh, Dragon doesn't even hear it. This is a big mistake from Fragsters. The Space Soldiers can trade it back. That could have been 2 kills as well. If Stab would have got too aggressive, he'd have been picked right over that. Here are the smokes though as Stab does put off a warning shot. Space Soldiers so decisive in their pushes, but this time it seems a little slower and stunted. Torben gets flashed up, but beautiful double, a triple from Major. Space Soldiers, they've got so many players who are so individually skilled. They can just show up at any time. Last round it was Xantres. This time it's Major. A beautiful quad kill. To match Xantres, whatever you can do, I can do better, he says. This is what I meant. The individual play just isn't with Fragsters. Yeah, they do have that team coordination. Coordination? Why did I just say that twice as well? I butchered that word twice up. Coordination. They have got that team coordination that Space Soldiers don't always have on their CT side. But if you don't have the fragging power behind it, Space Soldiers can just burst you open. Xantres, there's a headshot as well. It's only pistols. So, Fragsters, oh, they've just been rinsed. Sikron's the last to fall, and Space Soldiers dropping no members this round allows them to gain this T economy. Oh, they're going to have so much money and minimal investment due to crushing Fragsters early. Means the CT side, they're going to have to win 2 or 3 rounds in a row if they're going to shut down the Turks here. And I really don't know if that's going to happen. Space Soldiers have all the momentum rolling on their side. And we've seen it already in this tournament several times. And beautiful boost over the wall. Does get spotted out by Torben, who deals a headshot in return, but it's only damage, no kills. His Major comes up better of that exchange. Dragon does find one as well with that AWP, so a somewhat even exchange here. As Froz, he's taken map control. Space Soldiers have got to be wary of this, as I think they are going to circumnavigate him and push right into B. Instead, it's just Calyx and breaks open his skull as Dragon as well with a second. He's been doing all the damage to Space Soldiers, but he needs his teammates to chip in and step up now. So far, this seems to be Space Soldiers just outclassing the opposition. As they seem to like the B side. Calyx with another one. That's 2 for him. As this... Oh, the rotation is coming thick and fast. Sikron catches Xantres off guard, who does put a couple of shots through. Down to 46. Who does try and spray through the smoke as well, but it only gives away his position. Space Soldiers are nowhere near here. There's Dragon. Looking with this AWP. Does chip one back. And he is breaking into this B site now. And he does take down Calyx. What a shot! Fragsters. That was huge. There's the pause. Space Soldiers maybe taking a couple of moments to just reconsider that one and reconvene. But that was nuts from Dragon. 4th. There's been so many individual plays so far. And we're only in the first half of a best of 2. This has been nuts. What's going on in the chat then, guys? We've got 800 people here. Remember, this is what happens here. If you want to ask a question, chuck it in the YouTube chat. We love to answer your questions. And, of course, we're going to have a lot of Turkish people in today. But if you do know English, chuck it in the chat. We'd like to answer questions to keep the flow going. Alpha says Space Soldiers is not trying hard. I'm not really sure. Oh, and it says 1.6 major, maybe a resurgence in this one. I agree with that. People really calling out major for his high skill ceiling. Beautiful quad kill from him. Emrican says, I'm feeling thank you. What do you mean, man? You feeling good? People are just really excited about Xantris, Major, all of these individual plays. It's such an exciting style. No wonder Space Soldiers have so many fans, despite other big games going on. We got 900 people to watch the proceedings. It's Fragsters versus Space Soldiers. Is right after this pause, is Space Soldiers just going to go for a really fast push here? No Molotov means Dragonfly has to do it all in 2 big flicks. First the headshot, second the body shot. Space Soldiers, one of these prongs, one of the arms of their attack get completely knocked off. Space Soldiers cut down to 3. They've got to do something big here. Dragonfly's been hitting everything. This is 6 in a row for him in the past 2 rounds. Oh, Major just swipes that one, but it does get traded back. Torben's right there with a vengeance. Come Space Soldiers though. It is a 4 versus 2. The bomb is down, but Xantris is still alive. He's still roaming overpass. So Danes have got to be wary. This door's going to open though. I don't think Pass is going to be able to get out of this one alive. Takes a headshot and a second one. It's Dragonfly with his 3rd of this round and 7th of 2. And he might not be done just yet. Sanchez just get rushed down. They dispatch him quickly, wanting to rip the poison out of his tail before he can use it against his Fragsters side. They put 7 on our board, but they seem very scrappy. They've had to fight hard for those 7, whereas Space Soldiers 5 have been rollovers, as they've been able to quicken and slow the pace right down at will. Comes a smoke grenade, but it's only going to buy Space Soldiers cover as they make the assault onto the B site, and they've got so many players here. They've taken so much map control. Fragsters, they're going to have to hit some shots thick and fast, and maybe tracking some man to do it. There's a nice flick to open up onto Xantris, but they've still got this bomb site. With the bomb only a couple of meters away, they've got to get it down right now. But Stav, oh, he's going to chip back in with another one. This smoke is going to buy them some space, but it's all Stav right now. His engine, he's up close and personal, almost a double spray down. Didn't see Sickroam though. This Major, he's going to have to do big work. Big spray down from him, but it's only damage. They're already on this bomb as well, as he's missing the shots. They can fast track him through the smoke. Beautiful shot in Space Soldiers. They can't get off 5, as that one seemed a little more convincing from Fragsters. That retake was such a well-timed push. Space Soldiers just deciding whether they want to go for this one. Thing is, they have so many opportunities just due to them doing the damage. They're getting the bomb down in almost all of these situations, gives themselves a little bit more money, means that they can buy the AKs and give themselves more opportunities. Space Soldiers on their T side like to force after force. They know that they're good with these rifles. They don't need all too much. They don't even need the AWP to work with. And with the extra 800 plus the kill bonus after every round, it helps them keep the pressure up. They've also got loss bonus racking up as well. After losing 3 rounds in a row, it is going to line their pockets slightly. Xantros absolutely killed his name just then, but doesn't matter. The video says, how do you get the GoTV IP? You email ECS and you enter the ECS Caster Challenge. Caster, stop speaking in English. I'll speak some Turkish. I don't know any Turkish whatsoever. You're not following the recent memes? No, I don't really know the recent memes, man. Why do I barely hear footsteps? I don't know, man. Sometimes favorite player in the server is definitely Xantrez, man. Space Soldiers going towards the B site again, but Froz, that's a nice headshot to shut them down. Space Soldiers, they are keeping pace though, keeping the man advantage as well. See, I've got Major in the back lines. He is going to come through to the flank, but he has to hurry the hell up. They are right here onto this site, but Engine might have just sealed the deal there as Dragon. I think he's going to back off, but he's going to back off straight into Major. He's going to walk right into this one. I don't think he's going to get a shot. Does rail one off, but does slightly miss. The Space Soldiers pick up this AWP and a 6th round. Esport Lick say, Allahu Akbar. I just did it, mate. Welcome, man. Jackal, you message ECS and they'll probably give you the IP. But we do get commanded not to give out the IPs. The IPs are private for YouTube streams and for people entering ECS as well. The Caster Challenge. I do love this tournament. Great opportunity for new investors to cast some bigger teams as well. It's not every day that I get the opportunity to cast Space Soldiers games, for instance. They are ripping Fragsters a new one right now, though. These last 2 rounds have been dominating, to say the least. Leaving only Frosef left. He's got a CZ in hand and a couple of nades to work with, but if he makes any noise, Paz is going to hear him. Obviously, he can't hear that reload. We can hear it in the GoTV, but he can't hear anything. He's going to walk right back into this one, but over the other side of the map. Is he going to just back off? He is wasting so much of Frosef's time right now. He doesn't even know that he's slipping his sight. And now Paz is going to find that kill anyway, so a convincing half for Space Soldiers in the end. 7 rounds. Isn't there normal 11 or 12 that they've been posting this whole tournament? But 7 should be enough. But one of the worrying things for Space Soldiers, if we are playing Devil's Advocate, is they do have a slight issue closing out maps. They don't have a lot of experience at this level of play. They've played a couple of tier 1 tournaments, but apart from that, they've been locked up away, and they don't really play too many big cups. So they do seem to fall apart when they get onto the latter rounds. On the CT side, they can't let that happen. Instead, Xantros are missing a lot of shots, but Fragsters, they're walking into a crossfire right now. They seem to be dealing with it quite nicely. Major's right in the back line as well. He's going to telegraph his position as he opens that door, but they're not going to chase him down. Space Soldiers with a 1-man deficit. They've still got the kit on Engine. They picked that up earlier. He's got a smoke as well. But Fragsters, looks like they might change up their approach to the B site as this bomb still isn't committed. They are going to rotate through, but Major, there's a nice headshot, but tapping away is Frozelev. What's happening? So many missed shots. But Pazzy's certainly not going to miss. There's one. Nobody able to find big multi-frags here. It might be Dragon to open it up, but Engine, he's not got armor, so he's going to have to hit these shots thick and fast. Make his way onto this site as well. There's a smoke. Buys himself some cover to make his way on, but no, that smoke falls down the gap. That's not going to be any help at all. This Dragonfly, oh, he does close out the round beautifully. He's been the man of the match so far. It's been Dragonfly left, right, and centre. As soon as they get the AWP into his hands, he can start fragging once again. 19-9. That's quite a scoreline. Welcome, 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 one and all. We've got over 1,100 people on this fine Sunday afternoon. So if you haven't been to ELC before, type in the YouTube chat any questions, and we'll get answering those. We've averaged like 15 messages a minute this broadcast. That's a fair few. It's a fair few messages. If you want to get your message answered, just pop it in the chat, and I'll be answering questions all day. Christ, Alex says this cast is getting paid for saying Allo Akbar. ECS don't pay me, bro. I don't get paid by ECS for doing this tournament. I'm just here in my free time casting this. Zero obligation to cover this one, but they are good teams, so it is a lot of fun. And it is a nice thrill casting Counter-Strike. Even if it means you have to give up your Sundays. Fragsters, they are moving up close and personal. And Xantros, so he's just going to get nailed in the face early on. It's Torben making his way onto the site, assisted by all 4 other Fragsters members, just picking apart Space Soldiers. This was a buy, but they're making it look like a complete eco as Staff just finishes off the job. UMP's picking up 3 kills as well. That's nice money in the bank for them. 600 kill bonus even each. Means that they're going to have a lot of money to work with, and they're going to keep hold of all of these in the 18th round as well. No reinvestments needed. The Space Soldiers just did no damage there. Worrying for them. This is Space Soldiers map pick as well. They've been looking so strong in this tournament. It was my strong prediction that they would take this map and probably take the series 2-0. If we were going to see a 2-0 today, I think it would be in this series here. I've got this big flank, but the AK-47 is just going to be a firing range. One after one. Dragonfly finds it too. Xantros is the last alive. They're not going to be able to pick up this AK-47 at all. Xantros does find a dink onto Froz, but he backs off. Staying alive means that both these rifles are kept. 2 of these UMPs as well. That Space Soldier's only 1 kill between those 2 rounds. That's not actually too good for them. A team who keep pressure up by doing the damage in those eco rounds with the pistols. They're so good with them. But this time, you have to fall back and rely on the rifle play. 5 M4s for them. Only one of them is an M1S. The other 4 are A4s. Meaning that if they are going to take spray jewels through the smoke, the traces can be spotted. Every 4th bullet spotted. 8, and Fragsters can return fire. Here come the Molotovs though, and Fragsters, this looks like it could be a solid push. Space Soldiers have really been locked out here. They are going to find this first kill, but Fragsters, they smack right back with 2 of their own. They've taken this bomb site, but they need to get the bomb down right now. Space Soldiers are right on their tails, and there's Engine. Xantros is right here as well. That nade's going to be a big one. Dragonfly takes it in the face. They're boosted over. Sikrin is watching this, but he has got this angle. 7 HP, but stays alive. Finds that shot through the corner of the smoke. Not much vision. But Space Soldiers, they have got 2 players alive left. And Fragsters are awfully low. This is doable for the Turkish side. And they are about to make their way in here. There's a smoke down. Likely going to be wanting to defuse this bomb very soon, as neither of them have kits. They've got to get on it fast. with cover, and I'm not sure Fragsters, they're not going to allow this one. Engine, all 3 kills. How did Space Soldiers do that? They're finally allowed that defuse, but I'm not sure they've got this. They've not got a lot of time at all. 3, 2, 1, and the bomb's going to explode anyway. So Fragsters stealing away that round, despite Space Soldiers picking up all 3 of those kills in quick succession. I think that a lot of the chat's not going to be happy. Omar's asking Alex. He's asking you, man, where are you from in Portugal? Let's see if we've got any questions in the chat. Alex. People are trolling this Alex guy. Am I casting the second game as well? Yeah, we'll be here for the second Space Soldiers Fragsters map. That'll be coming at you probably in about 20 minutes, I guess. Nice eagle from Santres, so he's still alive. Everybody else is, so. What's being said in the chat? Santres, Alex says, Santres is actually really good, but being honest, Turkey is the only EU when they want to be EU, not really EU. They're not really from like the EU region. Like they don't really play loads of CS against other European teams. They don't play in lots of European tournaments. Obviously, you need to, like, Turkey is kind of on the fence whether you get visas. Christ. People are really bashing on this Alex guy. I'm with you, Alex. I support you. He likes tilting Turks. Or fine and dandy. It's a Sunday. You can do whatever you want on a Sunday. It should be chill, right? 1,200 people here. We're here to have a good time. Frozlev, he's going very strong into the side of Space Soldiers. They just get roped apart. It's Stav. Comes in with 2 headshots. Paz only returns with 1. And there's Torben with another one. It's Fragsters just breaking open B once again. And Space Soldiers, this CT side has looked awfully weak. You have to say they've not put a single round on the board just yet. And Fragsters might be up to 6 without Space Soldiers making a single return whatsoever. Maybe just keeping these 2 rifles alive are going to be essential. Working into this game gives the Turks something to work with. Engine, his position is compromised quite early on, and Torben's right around this corner before the smoke blossoms. He's going to take him through the smoke. There's the AWP down. Just Santres left. 1 more Turk to annihilate, and that will likely be the Danes on match point here. And a 1-0 lead would follow that. Santres swapped over to an AK-47, but Fragsters are closing him out thick and fast. Does stay alive though. 14-7. Space Soldiers have barely any money to buy here. I trust in Space Soldiers. In Space Soldiers we trust. They've got to take 8 rounds out of the next 9. I don't really see it happening, folks. 3 MPs, 2 rifles as well. Spraying through the wall instead of the wood. It's not really how it works, lads. Fragsters were looking like the inferior team early on today against Space Soldiers. When it was like 5-5, the Turks were firmly in the driver's seat, but now it's all Fragsters. They're 7 rounds ahead and just 2 rounds away from closing out map 1. And this is Space Soldiers map pick as well, so a really big one to win. That's a nice headshot from Santres, though. Keep his team in it, but he overpeaks. And Staff finds him. This guy's been picking up entry kills left, right, and center, round after round. So facing him when you've got 10 HP is not the smartest option. Even if you're Santres. This flashbang, but Sigfrid isn't even going to have it peaked when it explodes. Fragsters do have a man deficit as Space Soldiers start to take some map control, but there's Paz with another one. Spots out that bomb as well. There goes the smoke. There should be rain for for Space Vultures. They should be able to put another one on the board here, but this bomb, it's firmly in no man's land. It's Fragsters. They've got to pick up a couple of frags if they want to find this. And I don't think it's going to happen with Space Soldiers firmly posted on this site. 7 seconds left as well. They are going for this smoke, and Paz can go through this smoke. There's one as he backs straight off out. Dragonfly, it might be next in line as this peak comes through, concedes a lot of damage, but stays alive, most important. One of the things I want to point out as well is if we have a look at Dragonfly's kills, first half 19, this half only, well, it is only 3 I think, because he's only got 22 on the board, so he's only picked up 3. That graph's slightly wrong. He's only had 3 kills in this second half. That's just not good enough from somebody who had 19 kills in the first half, and was one of the reasons that they really pushed for. He hasn't really had to do all that much. It's really Space Soldiers that maybe we should be criticizing the frags on their side, but he really hasn't been having the same star impact. And if he cools down on Inferno, this is the point that I'm trying to make, is if he does cool out, if he does cool down on the next map, then Space Soldiers could definitely run with that on their T side. Fragsters have got 14 on the board, but they are conceding kills all over the place. As Sanchez takes his second of the round, Space Soldiers are starting to do something, and that's what it's all about right now, trying to find these kills, and they are picking them up. There's another one, this time major. And the Danes seem to be very broken up, very fragmented. They're not pushing together. Instead, it's just one by one. And yeah, this was working for them earlier, but now they need 1 or 2 more strats to close this match out. Otherwise, Space Soldiers, they can be right back in this. It's only a couple of gun rounds, and they can draw on the level. And especially with Sandra starting to show up. A big triple kill in this round, and he might even convert it to a quad kill here. He's just got this angle on lockdown, straight through the wall as well with a pre-fire. Takes Fragsters so low that he can't even peek, and 14-9. That's our scoreline here. There's a Danes. One last chance before going for this eco. What's Stav going to buy? Is he going to have a rifle? No, it's just a CZ. CZ, which had its newfound glory in the last couple of weeks, after the other pistols being slightly nerfed, but nice double from Calyx. Space Soldiers, they're dispatching of this push once again, as it's only Dragonfly. He was picking up kills all over the place earlier, but he's got to do some big damage now if he's going to want to stop the Space Soldiers economy from growing any further. And then Ace would be absolutely magical to put them onto match point, but the bomb is firmly in Space Soldiers territory, and that looked like a hit. Maybe just clipping the edge as he's being naded, sprayed. He's on 1 HP as well. Don't think he's going to be able to get anything done here. As this smoke dissipates, he's going to have to land a shot soon. I don't think it's going to happen though. As he's got a minute to try and keep this AWP alive, or at least do a little bit of damage. He's got this angle on lockdown, and there is one more. Picking this up probably might not be the most intelligent thing to do, as Paz has decided they're not going to push him any further. He's just holding back and steady. This Dragonfly's got 30 seconds left to save this AWP, and they might even just let him save it. Paz is watching this, and Dragon even able to rattle off a shot, checking his back as well. Spots out the feet of one more. Is this flashbang? Oh, it's going to fully flash him up. He's got a knife out. He's trying to get out of here, but not going to be able to do so. Paz dispatches of him first class. And gets Space Soldiers to double digits, and it's been a long time coming. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the top screen between maps, because yeah, it's Not happening. We'll fix the title as well. We'll fix everything between this map. Oh, what a nice shot. Torben rips the head off Engine. And Sanchez, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place now. He drops the bomb, but he's got pistols wrapping around him and fights his way out. Wow, there's Paz left. Keeps that spray down going, but nah, Torben not going to be able to do anything with that AWP as it's picked back up by Taz. By Paz even. Space Soldiers up to 11, within 3 now. They could take this one back and bring back their map pick. Wouldn't be surprised if it really happened either. As Fragsters, they've been within 2, within reaching distance of both match point and the outright victory for some time now. Fragsters though, they've got one more buy before this gets really close. If they can take it now, they'll be definitely in contention of closing out this map very soon. However, Space Soldiers, they're going to have buys like for the next couple of rounds after winning 4 in a row. They've got so much money in the bank. They'll be able to buy for the rest of this game unless Fragsters have a couple of rounds where they lose and still do 5 kills worth of damage and force Space Soldiers to reinvest. A lot of these rounds have been super convincing. Meaning Fragsters have made the job of closing this one out a lot more difficult for themselves. Fragsters take down the AWP as well. This is a broken open. Torben, 2 kills for him. His Space Soldiers, they need to make this rotation fast now. What are they going to do? This is a real dilemma. Calyx doesn't seem to be going for this one, but Paz is hot on their heels. He definitely wants it. And he's taken a lot of damage early on. Torben's in the back line, shoots at his kneecaps. And now they even know where Calyx is. They can just set up for this one. It's not quite planted for them. However, they can just play this one. And yeah, Calyx knows it. Backing off with this AK-47. Knows it. They need a tiny bit more money. And saving that AWP. Puts it firmly in their hands. Fragsters, they do find themselves a 15th round. But it's been work in progress for a long time now. This has been far from convincing. Closing this one out. We usually say Space Soldiers, they're the team who have issues getting up to 16, but this time it's been the Danes really struggling. Space Soldiers, they're going to have one last buy. If they lose this one, money ain't going to matter. Fragsters have 16 and we'll be going to Inferno very soon. Fragsters, I'd like to just see them set up this default once again. It's been working. They have been doing certain damage, but they need to set up a crossfire somewhere, bait a member of Space Soldiers in, and just find a way to salvage an entry kill. They've been working off the entries so well, but when they haven't been finding them, when it's been Space Soldiers instead, getting an entry on their side, that's when they've been rolling with the punches and hitting much harder. Fragsters, that's just splitting up all across Overpass. Santra is getting more aggressive now, maybe knowing that Fragsters are up towards long instead. Felt like he wanted to go towards connector there, but instead he is going for this long flank. And oh, Torben, he might even know this, but Xantris, he finds the shot straight into playground as well. Means that Fragsters, they have to work with only 4 players left. Space Soldiers, they pretty much got full HP. The Danes have got to speed up behind this one, and they're split all across this map, no closer to either of these bomb sites. Means that the Turks, they might be able to put a couple more on the board. Xantris again drops that bomb and almost the third, but gets traded straight out. Froz has this rotation on lockdown. He's pincered this A site, but he might get caught out here. He's jumping around and making a lot of noise. And with only 6 seconds left, are they even going to get this bomb down? I don't think so. Yeah, just in the nick of time, but Froz, he's the last player alive, and he's got a 1v3. This time it's for the map. Holding down behind Bank. I think Space Soldiers know where he is. If they just blast his head off. It's Calyx there with a clutch shot. Space Soldiers played that one nicely. Flicked out the nades. And finally, there's the 12th round for Space Soldiers. Fragsters are not going to have enough money to be able to go for this buy. It's just a couple of pistols instead. This time they're being locked out by these Molotovs. It's Space Soldiers with all the rifles. They've got an AWP. Molotovs too. It's going to be really difficult for Fragsters to break open onto these sites. They've got 1 out of 3 chances to break a full buy, and it's not going to be this time as they just get absolutely slaughtered. There's pass to finish them off. Space Soldiers are within 2 of overtime. This might be a right spine buster here. Could be a very long game. We're only 10 minutes behind schedule though, so no biggie. We'll be here for a little while to watch Space Soldiers try and finish this one off. Maybe Fragsters, they might close it out before it gets that far. They've got 2 attempts left, and this one's going to be a buy round. 30th. That's going to be scrappy. They've got no money, so a bomb planted is absolutely essential. But Froz, he's going to find that first kill. It's Xantros. He loves to get aggressive in Playground, looking onto Fountain. And there's Dragon with another one. This bomb, though, it's rotating over. Space Soldiers are just not rolling with this right now. They're 2 men down, and they've got to do something to keep themselves in this map. They've performed admirably so far, but it's Paz's AWP. He's the last hurrah. He's been good, but he needs to nail it! And Dragon instead! That was such a fast shot! Paz takes it in the face. In Space Soldiers, that might be the final nail in the coffin. Dragon once again, I was criticising him earlier for not stepping up in the second half, but to finish this one off, he's been absolutely clutch. Space Soldiers, they've got 2 AK-47s. How are they even going to remotely get back onto this bomb site? Calyx finds one, but Major as well chips back. Calyx, that was a crucial shot that he missed. Major, he's not got much time, and Dragon's going to close it down. Big triple kill, and that is the map setting. Performance in the end from both teams. Space Soldiers looked horrific early on today, but let me put my head back. I put my head forward so it wasn't all in my face, and now I look like a bit of dumb. That looks alright, I guess. That looks alright. I guess. Instead. But we have got the NA hat. I'm gonna put the NA hat on the on my counter-terrorist friend. There you go. You can have the NA hat for today. How's that look? How's that look? Won't cover his eyes. There we go. So, big opening game from Fragsters as we go through to Inferno now with a completely different storyline. It was said to be Space Soldiers. They're way out ahead. By the way, any questions that you've got, straight in chat. We've got 10 minutes now to answer some questions. So if you've got any questions about that game in general, about what we're doing here, get asking, and I'll get answering as well. But as I was saying before, this has really changed up the storyline. Before it was, what can Fragsters do? Space Soldiers, I think that they're big favourites in this one. They had a big win, 2 big ties as well. They've been playing decent CS, and they've been breaking ahead early. They've been convincing in their wins, and their losses have been kind of close as well. They've been convincing in every map that they've played, never been down and out. But on Overpass today, Fragsters, I don't even know if they were the better team. I just think that they out-fragged Space Soldiers, if you can even say that. Space Soldiers obviously mad fraggers. They're amazing at just picking up kills. But we have got a couple of minutes to have a quick chat. What's your ESEA rank, Mr. Caster? I'm ranked A minus. I'm ranked A minus. Jericho says, I love you, brah. Thanks very much, man. Much appreciate it. Just tell us an Instagram or something so you can follow me. My Twitter is @SquidCS. It's in the title as well, which I'm going to change right now. Should I change it? I think I should change it. I tried to edit the WordPad though for the for the document, and it didn't work. But I am going to get the title of this stream. So Space Soldiers versus, who are they playing against? They're playing against Fragsters. Almost type trick there. And looks like we are going to Inferno now. So in the next couple of minutes, we'll be going to that. We are showing all the EU matches today. We're not going to be showing NA today, but next week we'll be showing some NA matches, and we'll be flying them around and about. What other questions have we got though? Mr. Castle, repeat after me. Yarak. I just did it, man. You're welcome. What is your Steam again? Oh, Dinko. I'll type it down. My Steam is, this is my Steam name. For you, for Dinko and Dinko only. So what else is being said? Thomas Cloget says if Space Soldiers didn't throw away the second pistol round, or second round after pistol, they'd have won that game. Perhaps you can never tell what happens, but nevertheless, Fragsters are 1-0 up right now. Alex Bolivar says, Mr. Caster, stuff and read us. Don't really know what you're saying, but I did read it. If that's what you're on about. Isn't it going to be Train? Perhaps it is going to be Train. I was saying that it was Inferno all game long, but perhaps it's Train. Maybe I missed. Oh yeah, it is Train. My bad. People didn't really pick me up on that one. I feel like you should have said something earlier, man. We were watching the chat all time long. Can I link some social media? Yeah, I'll link my social media, Alex. /SquidCS. There you go, man. So what else is being asked? So Turkey boys wear face. Don't know what you're saying. I love your Jericho says I love your stream, brah. Thanks very much. Much appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. This obviously ELC's YouTube. We do lots of work on Twitch as well. We're going to be covering WCA the next couple of weeks on Twitch as well. So make sure you follow us and count it there as well. Nice Mountain Dew. Thanks very much. Very tasty. Very tasty stuff. Have some. Thanks for mentioning it, man. There we go. I'll pop it back. Pop it back there because somebody obviously lined them up perfectly, didn't they? I think my producer lined them up perfectly before. Right. What else are people saying? What else are people saying in chat? Can you link your Steam profile? I did actually link my Steam profile, but I linked it for the cast right there. Alex said, "Thanks for my Twitter." You're welcome, man. No problem. Have we got any other questions? Excuse me, Caster, but next map is Train. Space Soldiers picked over Fast and Furious Train. I know, my mistake. I must have misread it. Obviously, I think Inferno was the first map. I got confused somewhere down the line. I said the word cock. Yeah, that means dick. Brilliant. Said it on stream. It's fine. That's fine. I'll happily say that sort of thing. Am I Neville Longbottom? Wow. Shit. On that note, let's we're gonna go to a quick break whilst I have a cry in the toilets. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Hello, welcome back everybody, welcome. It's map 2 of game 2. This is our last map of the way, It's our last map of the day, last map of the week. If Sunday is the last day of the week, of course, because nobody seems to know. Either way, Fragsters, really shocking fashion in which they just beat Space Soldiers. It was a close game in the end. They had a couple of issues closing it out, but in the end, it was Fragsters prevailing. Now they go forth onto their map pick, and if there was ever an opportunity to pick up a crucial win, it would be right now. Here comes the USP though, and Space Soldiers have only got one man on the B site, and looks like the assault is actually going to be towards B. They Fragsters side haven't got any members towards Ivy either, so it lends itself to probably not being a push. They could send Dragon in as a fake, but it seems to be a slight change of approach from Fragsters. They haven't got anybody towards Ivy, but nevertheless, they are still going right in for this one towards the A site, and they've still got plenty of time as well, so they can change their approach whatever they want to do. And this is a very nade heavy approach. No Molotovs as well, so likely not going to be the B site. Because one a Molotov is a T. On train. They're about to push into A though. There's these Glocks. They need to close up the range. And these smokes are actually going to allow it. Paz even missing a bunch of shots. Forced to reload. Forced to back off. And he's not found anything right yet. Flaws. There's a beautiful double. Triple as well. Major takes it in the face. This bomb still isn't down though. It's Dragon and Cyclone. They've got to do the damage. These USPs though, they're so deadly at this range. It's these two Ts. They've got to do some damage. Dragon takes one in the head as well as Cyclone. A brutal and messy Angel ends him. Space Soldiers, they put their first on the board. This is Fragsters going down 0-1, and remember how Space Soldiers have taken their other wins. It's been in convincing fashion early on. It's something that Fragsters was able to circumvent last map by taking that second buy round. However, this time Space Soldiers, they're not messing about. They've got two rifles. They are pushing in aggressive, and they must know that Fragsters are going to play with pistols here. Even with the Deagles, Alex almost walks into that one. Deagle so close, such a brutal weapon to be yielding. And that's exactly why Frodslev, a beautiful one Deag, opens up the round, and Xantres sent home with a headache. A 4 versus 5. Is Space Soldiers. They're going to be seeing stars and deja vu if they don't take this one. The Danes have changed their approach over towards the B site. Space Soldiers should be able to hold this one tight though, with Calyx holding right back passive. Fragsters about to make this entry on in, and they haven't spotted Engine. They finally turn around, and there's Frostlev with another Deagle. Beautiful two from him, but needs to find a little more if they're going to hold Space Soldiers off this site, and he is doing more damage. Calyx down to 34. He's within one dig to the body here. Space Soldiers, they are suffering. Major does find that first headshot, a quick one at that pass as well. Is Space Soldiers, they are trying to regain control now. Major with another one. And the fourth. Calyx chipping in as well, as they are going to get this defuse in. Holding on at the end, but Fragsters, they're looking scary early on. This is normally what this Turkish side does. Very scrimmy play early on. Then they ramp up the pace. They've got enough proficient players to be able to do this as well. They've got great players all around the team, especially Xantres. I would call him a star player at this point. He's made a real splash on the international level as well. Such a big fan base, but that's Torben with a nice one Deag. Here comes Space Soldiers though. They've got A lot of guns in the road. Against these unarmored opponents, this family should be able to rip them apart. This MP9 as well lines them up, missing a lot of shots, but there's all three. Engine, lots of money in his pocket. His Cyclones left last. He's just going to get ripped apart by Pez's UMP, though. That's the conversion from Space Soldiers. 3 in a row for them. These Fragsters, yeah, they've got rifles. They've got enough money to be able to go for this here. Space Soldiers, they've fully invested into this one as well. They're not keeping any of these UMPs back, instead dropping it CT spawn. The rifles yielded instead. The Turks taking no chances. They know how dangerous Fragsters are, and that spray was so close. Surprised it didn't do any damage. That's a nice shot from Dragon, picking up from where he left off. Back on overpass. Sanchez missing a lot of shots, but hitting the ones that matter. Is Torben whiffing a lot of his own. Dragonfly needs to peek back in now, and that's a second with the AWP. But this bomb still isn't committed. Space Soldiers haven't rotated still. But Fragsters finally got that bomb on the B site. It's finally going to be planted. Space Soldiers going to have to go for this rotation now. But Fragsters, they've got members left, right, and centre, especially Frozlev. He's going to be a real thorn in this AWP side. Calyx does find that one. But it's Dragonfly again! That's a quad kill! Beautiful too! As he rips Space Soldiers apart. Helix, just the AWP left. Needs to back off though. But Dragonfly, he's really made a statement in this series. Firstly on overpass, but secondly in this round. To put Fragsters on the board, finding 4 kills. Space Soldiers, they've got to be scared of him right now. And wow, Calyx did miss that shot, but staying alive. By the skin of his teeth, that was so close. Thomas says Sanchez bottom frag again, lol. He's pretty good. Jacob says, hey Squiddy, buddy, trust you're having a fantastic day. I am actually, man. Sorry I didn't read that thing. Abraham, oh no, Alex said that I'm not always reading the chat. I'm not always reading the chat, but I do like the questions and stuff. So if you have got questions, keep them coming. We've got 1,100 people here, so surely somebody has something to say, but that was quite a no-scope. You're right. You're right, Alpa. But Space Soldiers, they've changed up their approach. It's a double-up setup for them now. And this does work on train. It's one of those maps with... It's one of the longest distance engagement maps where the AWPs can be used to hold the T's at arm's length, and Engine might show us why here. There's the first shot, but it takes a lot of damage in return. Forced to back off. This newly nerfed UMP needs to do the damage though. There's Paz with one. The ult chips in. This Paz does damage. Tickles Cyclone down, who has to back off with stab. Xandres doesn't have a lot of health to work with, but that MP7 does get caught in mid-air though, as these AWPs do rain through. 3 kills for the AWPs. The Space Soldiers, there's not a lot of kill bonus, but it's the rounds that really matter. The 4th round on the board for them, as Fragsters, this is going to be a half by here. They need to get something going soon. They know that. They know that the Space Soldiers' economy is low as well. You see, they've invested pretty much fully into this round. They've got almost 0 buffer, but instead it's Fragsters going for this force buy. It's a timely one as well to try and keep up the pressure. They don't want to be too far behind. Otherwise, Space Soldiers could do to them exactly what they did to Kinguin the other day. It was 2-0, but perhaps that was a weak Kinguin team. Perhaps that was a really strong Space Soldiers team. It's yet to be seen. But Space Soldiers have also posted big ties against, I think, Heroic as well. Should be a better Danish team than the one being shown today. Alex said being a CSGO caster is a good job. I think it's a good job. I like it a lot. I enjoy it. He's actually holding ground. That's another headshot. He even backs off as well. How does Fragsters not punish that? That is a big fundamental mistake from the Danes. They should have definitely not let Sanchez survive there. They possibly will pour onto the B side, but it's going to be more of a trickle than a pour, as they've only got 2 players left. And Sanchez is a head glitch angle. There's the third for Sanchez, as he's able to back off. He's got the M4 in hand still. He's just holding close in this smoke, holding steady as Halleck's going to finish off this round. Another good round from Space Soldiers. As the only round Fragsters have posted so far has been Dragon's quad kill. And needless to say, those 4 kills are the only 4 kills he's got in the last 6 rounds. So it was a big round for him, albeit if you can't chip in the other 30, it'll be all for nothing. As they've jumped past the onslaught of gunfire, the AWPs are posted as well, and Calyx is going to connect with that one shot. Space Soldiers playing a pretty aggressive defense, actually, with Major here getting flashed in when they know that Fragsters have pistols. This time that spray down is going to do damage to Sikra. I wonder if that was a headshot or just 2 body shots from there. 38 damage onto the unarmored opponent as Dragonfly made out that AWP shot, but Paz is there to support. There's one for him. As Major, he's spotted out this bomb. Dragon's out. He's going to walk in right into Major's open arms. As I'm pretty sure that Fragsters aren't going to be able to do anything this time. Mention takes his time with that shot. There's only 6 rounds left alive. Zagras even had that drop down, so 6 pretty convincing rounds for Space Soldiers. That is the first one that they've survived with 5 players alive. That's going to mean money. They didn't use too much utility in that round, so minimal investment there means that they're going to have a nice bank working into this, and this is what makes the train CT side so dangerous. It's hard to take back-to-back rounds against armoured, AWP'd up and fired up opponents. But Fragsters, they might be going for this A push. It's a split. They are smoked off, but they have broken out. The Molotovs are going to force Space Soldiers back, but Paz is going to find that initial shot. Here's Major to chip in as well. They are doing the damage as Major just fires death down from above. Torben blasted off the ladder. He's Dragon all alone. Does trace one, but doesn't pull the trigger. And he is stuck in A main. Space Soldiers have players everywhere holding down this bomb. Dragon's going to have to take some fast shots. He's going to pull this one back, and this might be the first. Didn't actually spot that head out. So maybe an advantage missed for him as Calyx finishes the job 7-1. And this is where Space Soldiers become really nasty. When they've got everything rolling, they've got the weaponry. They're up against an eco as well, so they're likely going to be on 10,000 a pop at the end of this one. Fragsters don't do any damage here. They need to start at least killing some Turks. Nice shot from Engine. That was brutal. Stav took that one in the face. And not a good start for Fragsters. They need to connect with these Deagles. But with a flank on the go, Fragsters getting smoked out. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do anything at all. Xantros holds down the spray as well. Frostnote's on no HP. He's on 5 health points. Meaning that yeah, the chance of him taking a kill here is very slim also. With Calyx and Xantres on this angle. He's going to have to nail a shot here. A 1 dig, and he does. That's a nice one, but nah, traded straight back out. And it's only 1 kill. The 2 AWPs stay alive. 2 M4s also, and you see it's more than 10,000 on 2 players. Major's just south of 10,000. Paz on 7.5, and Santra's almost on 4 means that Space Soldiers, they're going to be able to buy for the next 2 rounds at this point. Fragsters, they're going to have to break the buy by winning 3 in a row to put any real rounds on the board. Everything from here on out is likely going to be gun rounds. And Fragsters, maybe the answer here is to quicken the pace. Space Soldiers haven't been well equipped at dealing with the faster plays. But Xantras gets aggressive and trades one out. Does damage onto Froz as well, so a pretty even engagement for the CTs. Where you say if you're trading 1 for 1, that usually does favour the Ts, but in this case, possibly not. But Major is up close and personal to this smoke, and he can hear people moving around, swapping out weapons, and he hears that smoke as well. Stab there, holds down the spray, not got many bullets left, and Torben is going to capitalise as Space Soldiers, they still aren't getting pushed. Fragsters slowed this round right down. This is very similar to the rounds on Overpass. It really worked, but on Train, I feel like you've got to have a couple more attributes. You've got to have speed. You've got to get close early. Especially against these 2 warps. And Space Soldiers not swapping them out despite being in a 3-on-3. Fragsters have just held ground for 20 or so seconds at this point, but Calyx does trade one out also. Cyclone's got this angle on lockdown. And Paz walks right into it. His engine, he's going to walk into this scope as well. Fragsters, that's a nice round for them as they post another one on the board. More importantly, guys, what's going on in the chat? Let's have a look. A lot of Turkish, a lot of Russian as well by the looks of things. NS cheats, says some Russian guy. No questions though, no questions. If you've got any questions, go ahead, type it in the chat. I'm English, so obviously English. Do I get well paid? Yep, I do. But that's the only question. Yeah, nice question, I guess. But short answer, I guess. Not for this. I could be sat at home right now playing CS, but instead, I don't get paid any extra to cast ECS. But I do enjoy it. As a caster, it's a nice tournament. And it's a lot of fun as well. You get to do your own thing and just talk to chat. Best of 2s as well means you know exactly how long it's going to last, give or take. After this, depends. We're going to be going home and leaving the NA matches to somebody else, if you're part of that gang. Maybe tea time. Let's hope tea time is streaming tonight. Instead, it's EU now, and Space Soldiers have really started to wake up. And Paz nails that headshot as well. Cyclone falls to his demise into a pit of death. And Paz, he smokes it off as well. Major takes one more, but they've got to be really wary for Paz right now. He can push through the smoke at any time. He is taking a couple of pop shots through, but it's all up to Engine, and he's doing all the damage. Xantras as well. Oh, he's going to finish off that round. That was a nice fast shot onto Stab. And Space Soldiers, they're back in the driver's seat once again. This is likely going to be way north of 10 rounds at this point, as Fragsters, they're not going to have money in this round. They are going to force it up though, so crucial that they do something now. Otherwise, this is going to be a 12-3 or a 13-2. Space Soldiers, one thing that you can say about them is they do start missing more shots when the rounds start closing up towards the end of these halves. But right now it's all Xantras. That's a lovely double kill. Second on the board as well. Engine's got this angle on lockdown with the AWP as all members of Space Soldiers are over here. And I'm pretty sure Cyclone's been spotted out by Xantras, who puts his third on the board and a fourth. Xantras locks it down to give Space Soldiers double digits. Fragsters can do nothing about the Turkish star. It's 15-7. We're not even at halftime yet. Alex? Oh, I thought you said Southampton. Well, people call themselves Latinos. I was like, that's not true. South American, I guess, but But I thought you said Southampton. I was like, no. 1,250 people in watching some Counter-Strike today. Happy to have you. Proud to have you. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Any comments, you can post it on Twitter. You can post it in the chat as well. If you've got any criticism, if you've got any comments or anything. I'm Squid CS. If you want. Oh, Engine's just holding down the line. No need to even back off. He gets fully flashed up, but nobody's even dealing with him. They're not even putting shots into him. He's taking one after one. Another clean, flawless round from Space Soldiers. Fragsters look almost out of this game already. Here's a timeout, but seems a little late, don't you think? They're going to be able to force into this one, and they're even... They tried to cancel the freeze time there as well, so... they've got 15 seconds left to really think about what they want to do, but I think it's going to be a fast play here. Are you from Southampton? No, I'm not from Southampton. About 3 hours from Southampton in outside Gloucester, United Kingdom. That guy, I'm pretty sure that's not true, man. Hey, Aaron Salberg, how you doing, man? Pleased to have you. Yeah, I'm from Gloucestershire in the West Midlands. We're back in the game, and Space Soldiers versus Fragsters. This time it's not close, but maybe as personal as major. That was a disgusting shot. Dragon, remember, who took pretty much both of these rounds, getting annihilated early on, and Paz's going to take two of his own as Space Soldiers. They've just held down the line, absolutely so. Cyclone legs Major, but it's not enough to eliminate him. 12-2, might be 13 even on the board after this is Space Soldiers. They got rolling from the pistol round and they never stopped. They never held off. There was two jitters, one with Dragon hitting that beautiful quad kill with the AWP. The second being Cyclone Zorp on the B site. But Space Soldiers, they've just been way more than one step ahead. They've been multiple steps ahead. This time it's... Oh, that UMP does damage early, but Alex has this angle on lockdown as well. And they're likely going to try and bait him out here. There's a smoke down, but not baiting any shots out of him. He is going to fall back, though. Dragonfly, oh, he gets fully flashed. Paz makes the push. Space Soldiers want to level out the numbers, even though they know Fragsters don't have the weapon advantage, and Paz isn't slowing down here. He's going to eliminate Torben as Xantris takes two on the other side of the map. It's only Cyclone left. He's got a Tech 9, but not even getting the one. Paz is going to finish off this half, and 13-2. We caught it from a little while ago, but this is crazy. How come they couldn't do this on Overpass? They just weren't really hitting all their shots. And maybe you have to give Fragsters quite a lot of credit as well, because I don't think Space Soldiers was substantially worse. I think that Fragsters was a lot better on that first map. They were hitting their shots. They had Dragon going massive. He was going mad. Alex says, that's a nice place to live. Better than London. I've actually been to London quite a few times. I love it down in London. But yeah, Gloucestershire's pretty chill. It is CT-sided, so that guy isn't too worried. He thinks it's going to be a Fragsters comeback. I'm not really too sure about that. Torment does find that one, but they've got a long road back if they're going to even make this close, let alone take this to overtime or win this. Stav, he's even let one pass. Did he even see? Xantris rotate in. I think he did. Turns around and hits a headshot. Gets the hell out of there as well. So Space Soldiers, even if they lose this pistol round, they've got so many more opportunities in this half. And Fragsters, they can't make any big mistakes. Starting now and finishing at round 30, they're not going to be able to have any breaks if they want to take this one back. Hey Murat Alabakak, that is Alab Akak. Alabasak? Alabakak. I'm gonna call you Murat Alabakak. Hey man, how you doing? Pleased to have you watching some ELC today. This is a contrast from the first map though. Alex says, you've been in the centre of London, you know what they say, don't go down the Thames. Don't go down the Thameses. I do like London, but anytime I go to London, it's to watch shows or to go meet somebody or something like that, or hopefully to go catch some CS because there's some good studios in London as well. Face It studios in London and America, so let's hope. Fingers crossed. Not holding my breath, but hopefully. Two maps, yeah. This is a best of two, guys. Shane says, hi, love you too, man. Thanks very much for joining us today. If you were talking to me, at least. If you weren't talking to me, then still love you, man. Thanks for joining us. That flash was perfect, and Stav's going to capitalize off the back of it. Fragsters, kills everywhere as he gets a pistol out as well. He's staying alive way too long right now. Space Soldiers with their pistols not doing anything. Maybe just saving would have been the better case scenario. His engine does steal one back, but that's not really going to matter. Kobo Yadakash, don't really know what it means. Alex says, I've been to those studios myself. They're entertaining AF. What are you talking about with a winky face? Are you talking about something else? Why are you winking at me, Alex? Stop winking at me over the internet. I know what this means. I can pronounce Turkish. I can't. No, I apologize. But if you ask me to say your name, I am going to say your name. But if I butcher it, you can't blame me because I don't speak any Turkish. I've got no experience in the language at all. So I am honestly sorry. And Shane says, I was talking to you, so thanks very much, man. I really do appreciate every single person being here. It means a hell of a lot to be able to just talk in front of more than one person. It's a really nice feeling. However, we have got some CS to cast now, and it is a gun round. Fragsters. This is where it really starts to matter. If they can start to build something now, they'll build a really strong economy. If this can be a convincing round, next time they'll be up against pistols. And Space Soldiers, they haven't been too proficient with those pistols so far. So it's all about trying to hold them out now, but Space Soldiers, they're starting to do the damage, assisted by Paz, who finds a headshot. They're starting to make it. Is Paz, that's the second one for him. Fragsters, they're chipping back. They're not quite done. Tolbert gets two of his own. Cyclone as well. His Space Soldiers, they've leveled this up, but that was a big nade from Zantrez. He is sneaking his way onto this bomb site. Torben's reload. It's been heard. Zantrez, he's closing in on this one. Torben's just got to hit one or two bullets to end this round, but they've got to be headshots. But Zantrez finds that flank, and it's down to Dragon. He's got the AWP. He's been the man of the moment, perhaps the man of the match. Definitely for Fragsters. You can hear this Zantrez jumping about. Turkish legend catches Dragon with his pants down. What was he doing? Sprays him down with the AK-47, 14 on the board. That's Space Soldiers just extending their lead. Bukandri says, teach me some English. I hope I've been teaching you English all the time, man. My English is pretty swag, it's pretty decent. Murat giving me some advice of what to say and not to say in Turkish. Alex says, don't misunderstand my wings. I do some very naughty stuff to you, apparently. That's his words, not mine. 14-5. Things are heating up in the server as well. Fragsters. Start to put a couple on board. But Space Soldiers, they've clapped right back. And I'm sure they'll go for this A site again. If you go towards Ivy, there's a 75% chance that you're going to go towards the A site. You got 3 people towards Ivy. What's the chance then? 100%, I think? 99%? This push is going to come out, but the bomb is going to be all alone. It is going to be the three-pronged attack, though. Fragsters, Staff does shut it down. It's traded out, but Sickrone's right there. A good shutdown for Fragsters, as they do hold on for a little bit longer. Dragon, that's a nice shot, a quick one at that. It's only Major left. Might be able to get into the B-bomb site, but I doubt it. Torbin's here to hold down the angle, hold down the line. He's got plenty of nades as well. No Molotov, though, so if he goes down, which he isn't going to, he's going to nail the headshot, but if he wants to go down, perhaps Major would have had a chance, an opportunity to plant that bomb. But it didn't quite happen in Space Soldiers. Back to the pistols. Yeah, this could be overtime. If Fragsters can really start to manhandle this economy. I don't want to big it up too much yet because it's a long way away. And even these Deagles in the hands of Space Soldiers can do the damage, but not if you're walking into Dragonfly with the AWP. Fragsters are keeping their distance, keeping these Turks at arm's length. And Dragon looked like he could take a shot through the smoke there, but instead just waiting till he had full vision. These M4s not allowing Space Soldiers to get close. They're doing the damage early on. Sickrone's even calling that one out. His engine does find one, but it's not enough to do substantial damage and keep Fragsters low. There's a second, so maybe the break even for Space Soldiers, but that was a full buy. They needed the win out of that one. There's no excuses. Now they're going to have to go for a save, and this is going to allow Fragsters to get on to 8, and then they're only 3 or 4 gun rounds away from closing their gap. That's a big difference. That's a big distance to close. But Fragsters, they seem to be making the impossible possible, as they are putting a couple on the board. And Space Soldiers, they do have issues closing out matches. We saw it yesterday. We've seen it all week. We've seen it all week 1. They played 3 matches and they struggled to close all of them. They are going to be able to put this bomb down. This Molotov, it's not going to be blossomed in time. Very late. But Space Soldiers not in contention of winning this round. It is clean for Fragsters. So the most important thing is they've put enough money on the board. They've got so much money now. They're going to have another 3,000 on top of what you can see on your screen right now. That they're not going to have to eco at all this game. So Space Soldiers, they're going to have to win 2 gun rounds. That's their road to victory right now. It's a much tougher road to victory than just winning the pistol round and closing it out. But Fragsters, there's a real big possibility that the Danes can close up this gap now with the weaponry. They've got the AWP on Dragonfly, and he's only got 9 kills. So if he steps up even a little bit more, that could be the difference maker between a big and huge scoreline. Fragsters could put a 2-0 on the board. It's still doable. Remember, this is their map pick. They know how to play the CT side of Train. Just a shame they couldn't post more on the T side. Major, oh, he's straight on in. Fragsters, they can't concede damage early. As Froz, he trades 1 for 1. That's not enough. You've got to do more from Electric. Stan flashes back through that smoke and pushes it. Big shot onto Major. But Space Soldiers, with Paz holding Fragsters' attention onto A, they are pushing onto B. Dragon, he's the last player alive. He's got an AWP and a 1v3 to pull off, and he might not even know that this is the B site just yet. And he's still got 1 to contend with here. He can't hear it, and he is going to back off. That's match point for Space Soldiers. They've got 7 in a row to be able to do something. It is going to be a full buy for Fragsters in the next round, but holy hell, is it a tough road back to victory. Your outputs, bombs have been planted. Thanks for that. People didn't miss it. Looks like we might be coming to the end of our stream, by the way, guys. So we've got 1,200 people. If you've got any final questions, make sure you type them in the chat. We really appreciate you coming along today. But if you've got anything to say, go ahead, go ask your questions, and I'll answer it. But Fragsters, They've got one last buy. Space Soldiers have got to break it one more time. And maybe a fast plays in order. It's what's worked so far. And Torben, he's up close and personal around this smoke. There's one. Oh, dings the second as well. Big Deagle. Headshot. Engine drops. And that, he even survives. Back onto the B site. That Deagle rains on out. And connects with its target. Engine and Calyx both drop. The Space Soldiers, they're changing up their angle of approach. It's onto A, but Dragonfly's here to lock down the line. Darting up and down of ladder. But Space Soldiers, they've got the man disadvantage still. And with this AWP up close, Dragon gets too aggressive. A chance for Space Soldiers here, but they're all very low. Both Major and Paz have 30 HP between them as Torben takes one more. Gives Sikra a real chance, but Torben's been the difference maker, finding so many shots here. And Sikra is going to find that last shot. As it is closing on double digits for them. Both these maps have been fairly close. Have I been to the Philippines? No, I've never been to Philippines before, man. Are you from the Philippines, Gabby? Why you ask? Or do I just have that sort of look? Squid, link your Steam, dude. It's eating a squid. All one word. That's my Steam. If you want to add me, feel free. If you're a cool guy, I'll probably keep you. Probably keep you and appreciate you. Missing those Deagle shots, so do Major. That was a really big opportunity to take a weapon out of the hands of Fragsters, a man out of the server. But instead he just eats bullets worth of damage. Down to 32. There's Froz as well with 2. There's the 3rd. Nice cleanup. And the Steagle, 1 kill. Major finally finds it. But a little too late. It's Space Soldiers. They've got 5 chances now. Instead of the 7. Instead of the 11 they possibly had earlier. It's just 5 left. And very easy to let a lead like this slip. The margin for error that they built themselves on their strong, almost impenetrable 13-2 CT side is almost evaporated. Instead, you've got to be asking, what could it have been if they had taken 1 or 2 more rounds on CT? Because since then, it's been just grinding Space Soldiers down. I mean, Fragsters on their T side. What would have happened if they had just taken 1 or 2 more rounds on their T side? If they had just made 4 instead of 2. Doubled their score, but it only takes one person to go ham once for Seiko. 2 rounds in their pockets. But Space Soldiers, they've taken a lot of map control right now. They're right out onto the A side. And even Major making his way into Connector as well. This is a big play. And Fragsters, they might be caught completely off guard by this. And Staviz walks right into the crossfire. Major finds one more as Space Soldiers in a 2v4 now. This time it's for the map. This is their opportunity. If they lose this, this could just be it. As the bomb goes down, Torben takes one more. He's been the difference maker, but gets caught in the side of the head. Dragon's the final man to drop. 16-10. It's Space Soldiers. They put another tie on the board. So, good... after a strong start, would have been expecting to possibly put their 2nd win on the board instead of their 3rd tie. Something that you got to say about Space Soldiers, though, is they're very confident on their map pick. But then when it goes to their opponent's map pick, they seem to crumble slightly. They don't have the same edge as they do, especially on that CT. Well, especially on the CT side of Train Just Send. It wasn't actually in their map pick, but I'm talking about other days when they've played Cobblestone, when they've played these maps against Kinguin, and when they've played all their other maps. They've always been convincing at taking their map pick. It's disappointing today that they couldn't take Overpass, because they're normally really strong on Overpass. Their T side is normally pretty solid. They're really good at just pushing straight into B. No holds barred. The CT side can't do anything about it. I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then we'll be signing off for the night. It's 10 o'clock, so I'll I'll get a few hours sleep before WCA tomorrow. Somebody wants my trade link. I don't think I'm gonna accept some skins, but thanks very much for the offer anyway. Gorkum, Caster, thanks for everything. We love you. Thanks very much, Gorkum. Love you back. Much appreciated for tuning into the stream tonight. Thank you very much. Have a nice night, man. Cry, Alex. Boohoo, Alex, man. Alex been crying in the chat, guys. I don't know about that one. Have we got any more questions before I close off? Eating a squib. Alex is a great troll, man. Great troll. I'll let you work it out, man. I'll let you work it out. Let's see. Hey, there's Neville Longbottom. Great, man. Great troll. That's a fantastic troll. Class act, buddy. What else? Have we got any more questions? I don't think we've got any more questions. So all that's to be said is thanks very much for ECS for putting on this tournament once again. We'll be covering a lot more of the ECS season on my days off when I've got free time. I'll be covering the season, but we have got quite a tightly packed schedule. So it might be a bit hit or miss when we cover them, but I want to get on as many days as possible, and I want to do as many of the NA streams as possible, because although today's EU stream was really great, I really love the feel of the NA stuff. Thanks very much for joining me. I've been Squid CS. If you want to show us support, then get on Twitter and do that. We'll be back very soon. We'll be back for WCA tomorrow, so that'll be on Twitch. But for the time being, thanks very much for watching. Appreciate you. See you next time.
The end of you and me, let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. My heart belongs to me. Ooh, you're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger.